Yeah, I think we've had enough of that. Would you agree?
No, obviously.
Are you ready to get back into this, Brandon? You excited? Tell me all about your.
I'm always ready.
Always? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I can handle another night of this. Oh, but. All right. Okay, fine. Can't put it off any further. Must do what we must do, and we must continue this video because we promised that we would get through this video. As painful as that might be, this is Gathering Hall, episode number 557. Discussion Hall.
Move my camera?
Number 17. Yes, you're way off. This is part number 2 of Discussion Hall number 17 because we're gonna definitely have to split this up into multiple parts. For anybody that is not familiar with how we do these videos, we pause all the damn time and talk a lot. So if that's going to be a problem for you, the video is linked in the description as always, guys. Please check that out. Joon makes excellent video essays. They definitely deserve your attention, definitely deserve your likes and your subs. So, yeah, so anyways, Lily Orchard, a compulsive liar? Maybe? We have 2 Gathering Hall episodes I'm noticing on the title screen, Brandon. What happened here? Why did you let this happen?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I can't see.
You're the worst. You were still off quite a bit.
No.
Hold on. Let me,
Now that's a lot of damage!
Get out of here, damage guy. You're still off. You're like to the left now. What the fuck, Brandon?
That's good. I can move to the left. I couldn't move anymore to the right.
You're still off. I'll send you a screenshot, man. We're doing this remotely. He's like upstairs on another floor. So, you know, kind of hard to set this up on sometimes.
I'm looking at stream.
Without technical difficulties. You know what? You know what? You would be correct, Bannerfrit. We always have technical difficulties. Yeah, you're fine now. Let me just make sure that everything is working. Speak.
Hello.
Okay. Gathering Hall theme also is still playing. Shut up, Gathering Hall theme. Get the hell out of here. Bannerfrit! Bannerfrit! Hello, Bannerfrit. I'm so glad you're here. All right, Brandon. Real quick, he's gonna go over what we have learned and what we have discovered together.
Okay. So Lily Orchid used to go by Jerry
Pete.
Pete. Jerry Pete. And he created his alter ego, Tara Collins.
Tara Callie.
Who is it? Tara Callie, was it?
Yes, it was Tara Callie.
Tara Callie, who was a 6'3", dark red-haired lady.
Who was also an EDP sympathizer.
Who was really liked getting cupcakes with EDP.
That is an excellent way to say that. I'm so proud of you. That's a good one.
They found this lady right here named Nintendo Gal, and then also along the lines, and on Facebook named Brittany, who Brittany talked with Jerry over Facebook, and then Jerry introduced her to Tara, who was also Jerry, where Tara tried to get her to send her illicit pictures.
Keep in mind, this whole time, Jerry was identifying as a cisgender male, very much straight, was interested in females, and this person that he was talking to was absolutely 100% not interested in the opposite sex. So,
also, good joke there, Bannerford.
Don't worry, people. Lily was just coming to pick up a cupcake and go back home. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Perfect.
So then, they started doing some like game things, and they started writing pornography of Pokemon, Family Guy, and children, and My Little Pony.
Don't leave out the My Little Pony, because that was the most egregious section.
And now they're the one we're on now is where we're at. Is they're on their series called Stockholm, which is about Rainbow Dash having a massive penis and is attracted to fillies.
This is gonna be a really fun night, man. I hope you are in. I hope you got your popcorn, because we in for a ride, guys. Let me go ahead and get this muted now. I mean, you got us pretty much caught up. If you found that difficult to follow, do not feel at all like you're stupid or anything like that, because I still don't quite understand entirely what's happening here with all these different people that this person has created and all these different aliases that she goes under.
I think it only makes Tara was created. Because
that we know of. Oh yes, you're right, because we did officially get confirmation that Nintendo Gal was real. So Tara was technically the only one.
Real, Brittany is real, Blake is real.
Yeah, I guess I was more referring to the fanfic.net posting where,
by the way,
she was just sock puppets.
We're on the next chapter.
Yeah, I rolled back just a little bit so we could kind of get caught up a little bit, so we're not just going straight in and being like, what's happening.
Nintendo Gal is suffering a lot of mental things from writing this gross ass series.
Correct. Also, Ball Spawn was another name that
Ball Spawn,
Lily
was
went under. Ball Spawn, testicular spawn.
That badly. Yes, essentially terrified me in the story, but I can also handle fear. But physical discomfort from writing/reading something so terribly uncomfortable and painful? No way. I was honestly on the verge.
All right, Brandon, let me know if that audio is loud enough for you tonight. On viewing the live stream back from last night, I feel like the video was a little bit on the quiet side. So.
Heart, unquote. Nintendo Gal 55 can now hardly be found, and that appears to be intentional.
I tried to reach out.
Okay, so do we remember who this Absol is?
I don't think
it's Brittany.
She wants anything.
This is Brittany?
Any of this anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, Brittany was talking about her messages on Facebook with Jerry and Tara to June.
Right, but I just specifically remembered there being another interview with with Jerry's sister, Lily's sister. So I didn't know if that was
not yet.
I thought we did. I totally remember seeing her because she's got like blonde hair.
No, she has shown up in the story, but she has not talked specifically to June.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I know she was incredibly incredibly uncomfortable to the point of having emotional breakdowns when she was dealing with Lily's shit. Like, Lily manipulated and coerced her into helping her with it.
Still, in 2015, Lily would stop writing Stockholm entries due to the immense amount of criticism she was getting. Quote, no, the fun
All right,
of this whole
let's
series
let
is
June
fun.
read this section.
isn't
Where's he
one
gonna
person.
stop?
I've had to deal with these paranoid, delusional little liars for almost 2 years, and despite my best efforts to purge them from my view, it still gets through. Unquote.
Actually, I
She
think we
was
read this.
also, as per this ask, accused of being a pedo.
We
Not for
definitely read
stalking,
these.
though that was likely
Yeah, we've
happening,
read all this.
but
We're
because
at the
of fire
this part
rose.
right here.
Shipping
Yeah.
is essentially creating the portmanteau of a desired couple's name, and as such, the unwilling participant.
I just wanted a little bit of like a landing platform, you know, to get a
And
good
so,
run
refresher.
start.
A 23-year-old Josh Scorcher, represented through his character Firebrand, was being shipped with the 17-year-old content creator Ink Rose, hence Fire Rose. In her post, Lily was making the argument that Ink Rose was over the age of consent in 3/4 of America, and allegedly they did go on a date.
I think Josh and Ink ended up, like, going out to get food or something one time and immediately realized how weird it was and never did it again.
A reason
You know. Last night we were talking about this, and I was kind of like, almost like on the fence with whether this was morality, with whether it was morally okay, or if it was not okay. And I think pretty comfortable in saying that it's just not okay.
It's not okay.
Yeah, because the more I like, yes, she is 17, and yes, the age of consent is 18, but also 17 in some places. I still, in my honest opinion, the age of consent should be like 20 fucking 5. I'm just saying, because at 18, it's 17. You just don't know much about how things are and how the world works, and you're just impulsive most of the time. In most cases, there are 18 and 17-year-olds who are way more put together than I ever was at that age. But yeah, I think you're right. I think this is just
was shipping these two was because they were both politically.
And on top of it too, the fact that she was like, I'm gonna make OCs in my story that are representative of these two real people, and then have them smashing constantly. It's like
That is kind of where I am. I don't care if it's two fictional characters, but putting real life people just makes it weird.
Yeah. Like, I guess kind of what I was getting at, though, I was like, if, say, a 17-year-old, and how old is this guy? 21?
23.
That's pushing it, man. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's just not okay. And that's why they decided not to do it again, because they were like, yeah, this is
And at
fucking
some
weird.
point, she began editing videos for Josh Scorcher, someone who she's been watching for several
Just trying to
years
give them
now,
the benefit of the
and
doubt,
someone
Brandon.
who she had a crush
Trying.
on. As per Britt's correspondence with Lily,
Okay, so this is all new, right?
Yes.
Do you want to be Brittany, or do you want to be Valkyrie Studios?
I'll be Brittany, you be Valkyrie.
Aw, why do I have to be the scum nozzle, Brandon?
Because I was Jerry last time.
I think you were correct. I've decided the puppet is bisexual.
Not surprised.
Why are you not surprised?
Because of a raging crush on Anakin and your possible little crush on Josh.
In the case of Anakin, that was just me fanboying. In the case of Josh, yeah, you're right.
X3.
I was wondering what you were going to say. Although, despite that, this is still one of my rules about fan art. Do not draw shipping fan art of her with Firebrand, Josh Scorcher. Fire Rose is OTP. I will fight you on this. What is OTP?
I
Off
have
the
no
plate.
idea.
Off the plate. That's what that means. Off the plate. Has to be.
XD.
quote, Britt,
Stop
because
people.
of your
Doesn't
raging
stop people,
crush
though.
on Anakin and your possible little crush on Josh, unquote. Lily responds, quote, in the case of Anakin, that was just me fanboying. In the case of Josh, yeah, you're right, unquote. As established, Lily was quite promiscuous. But
No kidding.
Based on the TV Tropes character page, she
Oh, that's really blurry.
Adorable. Adorkable.
Okay, Brittany is the newest addition to the drawn characters, appearing mostly in the RVI Questions blog and in the shirt designs. Adorkable, ascending fangirl. Brittany is based off a real-life fangirl of RVI. What is RVI?
I don't know.
Of the same name, who has mentioned in credit roles and fan mail videos previously. Belligerent sexual tension, one-sided in Balls case. The cute Brittany is always doing something cute or funny when she appears. I didn't mean to turn on you. A running gag with Brittany and Ball. Okay, yeah. The interest in what this is waning for me.
Vocalized delusion comics back in the day. She was fully aware of it.
Quote, belligerent sexual tension. One-sided in Ball's case. Unquote.
Ball.
But then suddenly she was friends with 2 lesbians who she wanted to get with.
Wait, who's the second lesbian?
Nintendo Gal.
Lily was also pursuing Nintendo Gal 55, even though she's lesbian, and Lily was still publicly identifying as a cis-straight male. Even Blake...
Yeah.
This is his testimony...
Oh, we completely fucking skipped over Blake. Blake is just some guy. Blake is just some dude. I don't even know who he is. I don't know how he relates to this story. I don't know how involved he was with this story. But
I think he was part of the Valkyr Studios.
I think so too, and he was like the whipping boy, basically. Like they just shat on him.
He was the yes man. Except his wife
also
was anything but.
2015. Quote, be me. Young and stupid RVI fan, eager...
Alright, I gotta figure out what RVI is, because if... Joon, you do great work. I'm not discrediting your work, but man, if you got like fucking abbreviations, it would be nice to know what those are. And I'm not gonna be able to find it, because maybe that's a problem he ran into. Because I'm getting a lot of different answers. Huh. Anybody in chat happen to know? Let us know. We would like to know, or at least I would. I like to have all the context.
Chatting with quote-unquote Tara one night. Quote-unquote, she convinces me through repeated refusal to drop the subject that I have a crush on Lily. Never mind the fact that back then I was gay for any male that wasn't explicitly hetero. Except for Paris Hilton, because that redacted can burn in hell.
She convinces me. So who is this Blake? Yeah, this is Blake.
This is Blake. Wait, hold on. I thought Blake had a wife.
Brandon, that doesn't stop a lot of people. What are you talking about? There's a lot of people that have wives who don't care.
But it says, never mind the fact that back then I was gay for any. I wasn't explicitly hetero. So I guess he's bi?
I don't know.
Cut to October 2013. Be me. Just answered a confession on the RVI fan blog. Lily bitches and moans about money troubles. I suggest cam whoring to her fans. She asked if I want to be a test for that. I awkwardly try to dodge, saying yes or no. She pursues and eventually breaks me down.
You know, if I didn't want to have any... Who's texting me? Hold on, y'all. I gotta check this. It could be important. I'm terribly sorry. It is not. It is negative importance. It was spam email. I completely forgot what the fuck I was going to say. Thanks, spam email.
Something about what they're talking about, which is pursuing and doing things.
Oh, yeah. So this person's like, you know, I awkwardly try to dodge answering yes or no. Clearly, if you're awkwardly trying to dodge yes or no, you kind of sort of wanted it in some way. Because if I didn't want somebody to show me their nudes or be on camera and have them stripping, I would just flat out tell them no. I'm not interested in that. The fact that you are trying to not say no or yes tells me that some part of you wanted to see this. I'm sorry. That's how I take that. What is your opinion?
I think it's the fact that he doesn't want to do a straight refusal because he probably feels awkward about it.
I don't know. I don't know. Possible. I guess it is entirely possible that it's like a case of he doesn't want to offend Jerry. This is Jerry, right? Yes, this is Jerry at this point. But
I think we still technically supposed to say Lily, because I mean he's switching out all the he's for she's.
Well, I'm reading. Well, he's doing that, but I'm reading what's here, and right now we're talking about Jerry in this point in time. When we talk about Lily, yes, that's different. But right now, Jerry is what we're talking about because you know.
Shirt off or whatever. Get saved by Ethan and his family. 1 week later, be me. Just got home from work. Watch the rest of Lily and Ethan's Q&A stream. Get into video call with Lily to talk about said Q&A. Somehow she gets it in her head that I want her to strip. She proceeds to take her shirt off and refuses to let me turn on my camera to show my disgust. Sit in awkward confusion.
But
Why
see,
are you still in the call?
no, see, this is what I'm talking about. You wanted to see it. I'm sorry. You wanted to see it. If Brandon right now started ripping his fucking clothes off, I would hang this call up immediately. And I'm sure
Yeah,
the reverse
that's
is equally as true. But I'm sorry. This guy wanted to see it.
Confusion before she attempts to take her pants off too. Gets saved by mom coming in. Thank the emperor. Call ends. Proceed to cry myself to sleep with an awkward boner.
Okay, so there's another angle here that we're also not looking at. This also could be a case of it's just an extremely abusive relationship that these two have.
That's true.
And, like, she's just so good at manipulating Blake at this point that Blake doesn't really feel like he's in control. Like, that could also be the case. We could have, there's many different angles, I guess you could look at this. But my first immediate reaction is, yes, I think you wanted to see it.
Unquote. This was posted on 8chan.
So, Brandon, I'm not going to point it out, but I want you to look here and be as surprised as I am that Joon did not bleep out a few words here. He bleeped out.
Are you talking about the... I know, I was reading that.
The gamer words, yes. Didn't bleep those out, but we're going to bleep out things like assault.
Just a day after
Okay.
she was discontinuing Stockholm and that she was getting flack from shipping Fire Rose.
Holy shit. Okay, so we've seen this section here.
And that she was getting flack from
Okay, we've seen that too.
This one too.
And though 8chan posts tend to not be the most reliable, Blake would later give his testimony in video form. Lily at this point was either sexually pursuing, sexually interested in, or right out online dating virtually everyone she was in contact with.
You can't date somebody you invent. So, I don't count Tara. Tara doesn't count. Tara doesn't exist.
From the
You don't agree with that? Yo, I gotta hear it.
Here's my thing.
I gotta hear your reasoning. Hold on. Let's hear it.
In Lily's head, she was dating Tara.
Except, no, she invented Tara the character literally to be used as a form of manipulation. That's the only reason Tara existed. She didn't actually date
But
Tara.
you have to remember that in that canon of Tara, she was dating Derry.
You can't date someone you can invent? Did I say that? I meant to say you can't date someone that you have invented.
Manipulation through Tara Callie, the shipping of Fire Rose, and her...
So me and him disagree on this one. I don't think you can invent somebody and then date them.
I think it's the
There's a lot
ideology
more.
of-
Hey, excuse me, sir. I'm talking. Rude. No, so completely ruined my train of thought, you piece of shit.
Good, then I'll continue talking.
Yeah, go ahead, because I really don't know what I was
I
going to
think
say.
it's the ideology of a person's fiction can overwrite reality. So it's not officially like physically dating, but in their head they're dating. So to anyone who knows them or who thinks that Tara is real, they were dating, kind of thing.
There's a lot that goes into dating. And
I understand this,
like,
Matthew,
I
but you have to remember, Lily was trying to portray herself as dating Tara to everybody else. So everybody else thought that Lily was dating Tara in their 5-man group.
Okay, I see your angle now. I understand what you're saying. They're not actually dating, it's the impression that they are.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome promiscuity.
That's fine. That I can get on board with.
Like never before. As such, paranoia made its way in, and she began a pattern of removing and re-adding her friends, likely as an attempt to test their loyalty.
Did she remove Tara?
I just think that was for video editing purposes. It would have looked weird if Tara never faded out too.
And that happened a few times, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with her. I started.
It's just not a sentence I expected to hear. The robotics people 100 years from now are going to be pissed when they find this video buried deep on YouTube. Why would they be pissed?
Getting really.
They're not
Because
inventing
they
people.
invented somebody they were dating.
I felt like
Shh.
she was treating me like I was.
In the year of 2024, that doesn't exist yet. It's coming. It is 1000% coming. I would say within the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to have AIs that people are going to be dating. If not sooner than that. All right, you get to be Jerry this time.
No, I was Jerry the entire time last video, so you're Jerry the entire time this video.
Bannerford, is that true? Come on, man. Back me up. Back me up. This motherfucker's lying. I'll be Jerry. I don't care. Go, Brandon, go. You start.
Back. Spent the night with an old friend.
Okay. How are you?
Getting better. Got my first check last Friday.
Cool.
What made you add me back?
I missed you.
Sounds like the two siblings arguing who gets to be player 1 on the Xbox.
That was never an argument. Brandon has always been player 2. Literally.
And I thought I was part of the garbage you were clearing out. Okay. So
Jesus
let me get this
Christ.
straight. You really hurt me by insinuating that I'm part of the 8 bags of garbage you're getting rid of. Ironically enough, not 2 days after you told me I deserved people who treat me better, you delete me from everything. Now you come back because you missed me, and I assumed to make amends with me. I'm obviously wary and still raw from that, and instead of an apology or anything like that, I won't bother you anymore. If you want me in your life, fucking act like it.
I'm sorry. I never insinuated you were garbage. I had a nervous breakdown and took it out on you. I'm so sorry.
I asked you if I was included in that garbage. You never answered, but you did delete me from everything. That was pretty clear response.
That was unintentional. This is the most gaslighting, disgusting shit.
Right?
Like, fuck this bitch.
Allegedly influenced by a nervous breakdown.
That's why I'm always Luigi. That is actually the canon.
Yeah, like, seriously. It's never been an argument between me and him. Like, it's never been an issue. It's never been a problem. I like to be player 1, and he likes to be player 2. Like, it's whatever. So, let's see. Oh, there you go.
You first.
No, it's not me. You're Jerry. I'm sorry,
No,
Brittany.
you're Jerry.
I don't know how to make this better, but I want to.
Then stop taking shit out on me. Actually talk to me instead.
Okay, that kind of thing isn't going to happen again, I promise. So Jerry is really, really, really into attention. That's another thing I'm noticing. Like she does all this crazy shit. I'm pretty sure for attention. That's why she's like, I'm going to remove you and call you trash and then add you back a couple days later so we can have this back and forth. Like, she thrives on this attention and this drama. And that's that kind of person you really need to just cut ties with entirely, because they're just an emotional, manipulative drain on your life. They're not worth having around.
By a nervous breakdown, but Britt had grown tired of it all.
Holy crap!
Allegedly influenced by a nervous breakdown, but Britt.
I really like reading these chat logs. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't constitute a higher quality of life. That just distracts from it. Go, Brittany.
Yes and no. Depends on what your definition of quality of life is. For example, when I was homeless and jobless, I considered my quality of life better than when I had a job, a girlfriend, and a roof over my head, because I felt free and happy. Didn't have a douchebag boss creating a fear-based working environment. Didn't have a bitch girlfriend creating a fear-based home environment. And I could find temporary shelter at night with little issue.
Well, you know what? At this point, I would love a douchebag boss creating a fear-based work environment, and at least it's a fucking job, so I don't run the risk of going hungry by the end of the month. I'll take some degree of stability over some make-believe nonsense like freedom any day of the fucking week. What a cynical douche.
You have to be the biggest cynic I've ever met. You know, what I learned when I was roaming? We create the stability we need.
I'm not a cynic. I try not to have in my head in the clouds.
Yeah, I was homeless, no job, no steady place to go, no money. The only thing I had was a backpack full of my clothes, a water bottle. But that didn't matter to me. It broke me out of the mindset that our life has to be directed by how much money we have or the stuff we have. I had ways of getting food. I had people to chat with, bookstores to visit, library to use, the internet to job hunt at my own pace.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That sounds like kind of a not horrible existence.
No,
Grown tired of
not in today's environment. I'm just gonna start with win.
Okay, it is Brittany, so
Yeah, when I'm working, I'm happy, energized, and full of life. During my leisure time, I'm frustrated, angry, and exhausted. It's probably time to quit writing and playing World of Warcraft. Please tell me you see how little sense this actually makes. You're the one who always slaps me upside the head with the reason when I say something blatantly contradictory. I'm a bit curious to know if I was included in the whole bag of trash business.
No, I just asked you not to call me by something that isn't my name anymore. You're the one who decided to investigate.
Because I know your patterns. You dip into irrationality during your more intense depressive episodes.
No, during my more intense depressive episodes, I stop contemplating suicide and just go for it. I haven't yet gone to that point yet. I just got sick and tired of wasting my time and energy on things that aren't helping me.
I see. And what exactly do you plan to do instead? If you're so convinced that none of those things serve a purpose, even though they do.
I don't know yet. It's 3 in the fucking morning.
Maybe you should sleep on this shit before you go make a rash decision like that then.
I didn't even realize you said that Luigi's the better Mario brother, Banifrit. Rude. I hardly think dropping 2 unfulfilling hobbies and giving up on a pointless self-delusional qualities as rash qualifies as rash. Unfulfilling my ass.
Occupied on Skype until Britt pulled the plug. On top of this, Lily was starting to publicly transition into Lily, which brought on even more turmoil. The silver lining is that most of the conflict was kept private, or at least not so public. Like the Skype messages with Brittany, the 8chan post with Blake, even Stockholm wasn't well known, and neither was Tara Cali or what she represented. But that was 2015. In 2016,
Oh,
save for
fucking
the
sick.
Skype
I got water,
messages
Brandon.
with Brittany, this silver lining was stripped and Lily had come apart at the seams, reformed now into Patch after conflicting Patch, some disregarding her as a hate monger, others cloaked in her anger and vitriol, convinced in her passion alone. This was brought on by her falling out with Josh Scorcher. It is difficult to state how much Josh really meant to
Who
Lily.
is Josh
He is a
Scorcher?
content creator that
I have
she-
no
Oh,
idea.
June is about to answer that
Not only
question.
did she write him into Stockholm as the counselor that encouraged Val acts, she also admitted to having a crush on.
I decided the puppet is bisexual. Not surprised. We read all this.
Yeah, we've
Lily
seen
was
this.
dedicated so much to him that she wormed her way into becoming an editor of his. This came to a head on June 4, 2016, when Josh Scorcher on his Tumblr stated, quote, "That feeling when you finally realize you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. That feeling when you realize you can't break it off because of business reasons and you just have to suck it up." Unquote. In a second post responding to the worry of his audience, Josh Scorcher stated, quote, "It's nothing life-threateningly serious. Sorry if I scared you. Just realized a friend hasn't really treated me like a friend should."
Yeah, that's kind of a like scary thing to just post and not give any
Yeah.
context to.
On a third post,
Hey,
Josh clarifies
scoot
that he kept
yourself
ties with this
to
person
the
and they are
right
not
a little
going to
bit
be
more.
affecting future projects. And in a fourth and final post, still on the same day,
To the right.
Josh clarifies that he won't be revealing who this person
Right.
was, likely to
To
avoid
the
conflict.
right.
That's when Lily replies to this.
Your cameras. You need to go to the right. You're like halfway cut off. To the right. Pretty sure to the right. Yeah, much better.
Quote, "It was me. I have been increasingly passive-aggressive towards Josh, dismissing his opinions and being increasingly short-tempered with him as time has gone on, treating discussions with him that have any degree of seriousness with the same disregard and callousness as I would a random
Okay, so
colleague.
legitimately this seems like an okay response.
With me than I had ever been with him. I have been a very poor friend to Josh over the last few years, and Josh deserved far better than this. I am truly sorry."
That is, I mean, credit given where credit's due is not a bad apology. You know? She's taking full credit for her actions. And at this point is like, yeah, I fucked up. I was a piece of shit. I treated him like garbage. My fault. I deserve what I get. I'm totally down with that. To the left, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick. Are there song lyrics?
Yes, to the left, to the left.
Keep going. I don't know the
No.
song. I don't know how it goes. Maybe I will if you keep going, though.
No. If you don't know, you don't know.
Sing, Brandon.
No!
Unquote. This is a well-mannered response where Lily admits
Yeah,
to wrongdoings
totally
and apologizes
fine.
without any direct pressure applied.
Cupid shuffle.
But even the good nature of it could not fix her friendship with
Yeah.
Josh. And to this, not only did she begin hating Josh, she also began to despise his identity. While Lily always had a disdain for the political right, it was mostly aimed at Donald Trump, as it was an election year. But then after her falling out with Josh Scorcher, and after the Orlando shooting in June 2016, Lily made a
Probably, dude.
post mostly supporting.
Like, oh my god, the copyright system on this channel, on this fucking platform. So the video, the Tom and Jerry reaction that me and Brandon did, that I can't get uploaded to this channel. What's really aggravating about it too is that we watched the fucking movie on YouTube on somebody's channel for free. It's on their channel. They have it uploaded. Why the fuck couldn't I upload our reaction, which is highly edited and cut? And there's like no audio left from the.
Gun control, but also supported for Christians. It is no secret that Josh Scorcher is also a right-leaning Christian. Lily knew how excessive her postings had become.
Oh, I am not reading all that. That is too much.
Be raging about the delusional twats of the Republican Party for a while. So if you find that exhausting, add the tag, quote, fuck conservatives, unquote, to the blacklist of whatever extension you're using. I will do my best to make sure each post is tagged.
You know, we kind of touched on this a little bit last night about people, like, not being able to have a conversation and just seeing somebody who has a different opinion and being like, I hate you. Why? Why are we like that? Why is it like that in the world, Brandon? Like, I brought it up last night. Me and you have differing opinions on things. We have disagreements on stuff. We have disagreements on stuff in this fucking live stream. And look, we're fine. Perfectly fine. We can have a discussion. We can talk about things. And I just don't understand why people can't be like that. Like, you might be surprised. Somebody might come to you with their differing of view on something, and you might be like, oh yeah, shit, that makes a lot of sense. And you might learn something through it too. Like, why can't we have conversations anymore?
Unquote. Lily then responded to the claims of her being part of the radical left as, quote, those claims come from...
What are you holding there, Brandon? What do you got there, little fella? I got you full screen. What are you doing?
This is one of my Magic the Gathering commander decks.
I'll tell you what, Brandon. We hit 10,000 subs. We'll do a marathon stream, and you will teach me how to play Magic the Gathering. I'll set up a tabletop thing.
10,000? That's...
If we ever hit... Okay, 5,000. How about that? We hit 5,000 subs. That's what I'll do. We'll do a great big long marathon fucking live stream where Brandon teaches me how to play Magic the Gathering. And it's going to be full of cursing and full of anger and... Yeah. 1,000 sub special. We're gonna get every ending in Shadow the Hedgehog. Edgy the Hedgy.
Oh! Did you see the Shadow Generations fight with Emerald?
No, man, I'm planning on playing it, so I've been avoiding everything about it. Is it good?
Oh my god, it's so beautifully done.
Awesome. That gives me hope.
I didn't even know what it was. I was just scrolling through shorts and it just popped up and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to play it on PC, so I don't want spoilers, Brandon.
Fuck those deplorable assholes. Unquote. Finally, on June 19th, Lily tied this back to Josh Scorcher when asked, quote, Josh just put up a post saying why the US doesn't need gun control. What an absolute tool, unquote. Lily responded, quote, you think that if you can so easily predict how people are going to react to the bullshit that comes out of your mouth, that might cause you to step back and re-examine your outlook on the world.
Yeah, you never know how people are going to react to what you say. Ever. Like, you could think that what you're saying is the most basic, what's the word I'm looking for? Unoffensive thing that you could ever say in the world. And somebody at some point could absolutely, totally be offended by that. And it's not even a case of like somebody could be offended by it while they're watching it today or even tomorrow. It could be 15 years from now. Somebody could watch your fucking video and be like, that offended me. And the way that our society is right now, you will get in trouble for it. It's crazy. We live in a crazy time.
Stroking a massive persecution complex.
Like, what's the fall off on... So that's an issue that we're actually going to be having to deal with fairly soon, or I mean, we're kind of already dealing with it in some places. Like YouTube is one example, where you've got like creators who may have said something that was acceptable 15 years ago that is not acceptable today, that they are now being held accountable for because standards have changed. So when is the cutoff? Because
never.
Because things that I say in this video today might not be socially acceptable 10 years from now. Does that mean I should be staked and burned? Is that where we're at, to the point where you can never ever live anything down regardless of the status quo changing or what's allowed being different between time periods? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a strange situation. It's something that we as a species have never dealt with before.
I think personally, if it was okay when it was said, there's no reason for it.
Elaborate. What do you mean there's no reason for it? For instance,
so like what I mean by no reason for it is like what you said, like you're saying something today that is socially acceptable today, and then 10 years from now it is no longer socially acceptable.
Right.
Well, the fact is that 10 years ago it was, and that's history. So trying to get rid of that history or persecute somebody for something that was okay back then is just a crime. It's like,
I totally agree.
Like,
I 100%
for instance,
agree.
With Rockefeller created a monopoly, and that's what caused the law for no monopolies. But they didn't arrest Rockefeller for having that monopoly in the past.
It's a fairly decent analogy, I suppose. But you still have people that are... The first thing that pops in my head, he's not a very good example, I guess, because he still says stupid shit today. So who could I give an example of? I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. That's embarrassing. Like, the first thing that popped in my head was DSP, but he says stupid shit today. I don't know.
Doesn't surprise me as much.
I know there are examples. I just can't at this moment think of them.
By stating that Josh Scorcher never said the U.S. doesn't need gun control.
About it, like, she will rage about it for days on end. If it's a specific person, she will rage about them for years on end. So I think her sudden raging hatred for Republicans and Josh in general was way more personal.
Oh, it absolutely was. Totally was.
Fired her.
Quote, if you aren't wealthy, white, straight, and a man, and you must be all four of those...
Hold on. If you aren't wealthy, white, straight, and a man, and you must be all four of those, then the Republicans are trying to kill you. Kill them first. Holy shit. You can't say that.
Republicans are trying to kill you. Kill them first.
You can't do that!
This was a section of Lily responding to why she suddenly loathes the right so much. She claims it was the Orlando shooting. But Lily was also equally ranting about Josh Scorcher with a passion, even framing her firing by Josh Scorcher as her decision to leave. Quote, Josh wanted to say something in a video that was widely racist. I went at him because, quote-unquote, editing was literally my job.
Like... Come on, Lily. All this goodwill that you got from me for giving a halfway decent apology and taking accountability for your actions, and then you turn around and act like this, and then throw that apology away and say, yeah, I actually left. It was my decision to leave because he wouldn't let me edit the way I wanted to.
Unquote. This was a post in early July, and posts like these...
I'm glad that this hasn't been as disgusting as the last part.
For now.
Quote, she's just another far-right conservative with a persecution complex, stamping her feet at the fact that the world is changing around her. Shoulder check her out of the way and she'll keep moving. She'll either grow up of her own volition, or reality will force her to grow up. Unquote. Lily, still in July, states she is unsure what the catalyst was for her falling out with Josh Scorcher, but does say, quote, I often get called petty, vindictive, or even abusive by people who don't know what abusive means. Because I'm less than 100% polite and capitulating. Because I don't tell someone their beliefs are 100% grounded in reality when they clearly aren't. But the kind of behavior I mentioned above is something I find particularly scummy. I can't reach subtle, nonverbal communication, especially not over the internet. Unquote. September marked the third.
I actually don't even know what the hell she's referring to here. Do you? I know she's talking, like, the situation she's talking about is her being fired, but I don't know what she's responding
what she's
to.
Saying,
I know what she's saying, but I want to know what she's responding to.
Oh, like what the thing?
Yeah, I want the rest of the context, because I don't know what this is in response to. Unless it's just something I missed.
Aggression towards Josh and his friends, now stating that Ink Rose was homophobic. So now Lily was requesting her audience harass her by, quote, beat a troll by trolling harder, commission or draw artwork of her and KP, or any other woman for that matter, in very romantic situations.
KP.
Who
would that be?
Icon is in the description,
Katy Perry?
so she gets notified every time. And when
Sure.
to stop, just
I don't know.
Quote, how about I do anyway, unquote. Eventually she'll explode and take off the very thin veil that isn't fooling anybody. Or she'll stop mouthing off about shipping like such a baby, unquote. Side note, on the same day, she answered a question about the moral implications of incest and states that in fiction, the negatives of it can be mitigated.
Okay, so hold on. I want to read this. What do you think about the moral implications of things like incest ships? I think it's fucking disgusting. I mean, just done deal. It's not okay. The issue with incest in real life is that you reproduce that way, you have a higher chance of deformities with the offspring. In fiction, you have complete and total control over whether the characters reproduce, and even then, you have the complete control of whether that offspring has any issues from inbreeding. Additionally, all of that is overwritten with same gender pairings.
Like the deformities in offspring because
there is a secondary concern regarding how incest in real life is often an abusive situation, but you can mitigate that through the magical technique called not doing that. When you're in the position of God, there isn't a single issue you can RNG your way out of.
Quote, when you're in the position of God, there is
I absolutely 100,000%
Still in September,
feel that
quote, like to spew a new
Lily, that Lily here was absolutely interested in her sister. I just have that feeling. What about you?
Yeah, it seems very likely.
She's really obsessed with fucking incest, dude. Like, it's Stockholm was all incest. There was incest in her Family Guy fictions. I don't know if there was any incest in the first, like the Animal Magnetism series that she wrote. But
no, she was just crossbreeding with Gardevoirs.
That's right. Crossbreed. Oh, God. Ugh.
to me in private chats, unquote. A few days later, she was now starting to believe that Ink Rose is so homophobic.
Okay, so person, are you gay? Straight person? No. Closeted gay person? No, no way. Why would you suggest that?
What?
I think that she's saying that somebody who so adamantly says that, oh, I'm not gay, absolutely not gay, I don't like
gay.
penis at all, is 100% gay. That's not always the case though. There are people who are homophobic who would react in that way. Like if somebody came up to me and asked me if I was gay, I would say no, I'm not gay. But you know, there are people who are that way, and it's not okay. But I just don't understand why people care so much about what somebody else is doing.
Because people need validation.
But what I'm saying, though, is like, why do you care what somebody else is doing in their home? Does it really affect you if you see two guys out walking around holding hands? Do you care? I don't.
No.
Like, who fucking cares? They walk by me, I walk by them, and I don't think about them the rest of the fucking day.
I see too many people. I lose.
Lily was not doing well, as she was claiming that in this post her caffeine addiction had gotten so bad, she apparently only had...
So Dartmouth General Hospital calls me up at 4 in the morning with the results from my last physical. They're not gonna even be open. They're not gonna have their receptionists there. I mean, that's not how that's gonna work. They might call you at like 9:30, maybe 10. They're not gonna fucking call you at 4 in the morning.
Had 2 years to live. Then Lily in October.
They're gonna call you at 4 in the morning. Who at the hospital is working at 4 in the morning? They might have like a single receptionist sitting out in the front fucking office desk area. It's like, and maybe some nurse staff. But typically they're not going to have like an entire like staff there. And they're definitely not calling people at 4 in the morning.
Newbie Dash is an episode I've been trying to talk about in detail for a very long time, but it's an episode that is fundamentally difficult to discuss in a public venue. Because the Wonderbolts draw a lot of parallels to the military, a lot of military bronies...
Who is this? I was too busy bitching.
This one-sided campaign to the point where she made a video.
Newbie Dash is an episode I've been trying to talk about in detail for a very long time.
Is this Lily?
It's an episode that is fundamentally difficult to discuss in a public venue.
Maybe.
Because the Wonderbolts draw a lot of parallels to the military, a lot of military bronies hold the episode in high regard because of its supposed accuracy.
I always kind of saw them more like the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
Like I never even kind of saw them in a military sense. I always saw them as like stunt pilots.
Yeah.
The most vocal of these people being Joshua Burner, the founder of FOB Equestria and known for serving 5 years in the Marine Corps. Then I remembered something important. Mr. Burner wasn't actually in the military. He was in the Marine Corps' band, the ceremony.
So he was in the military.
Yeah, he was in the military.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just because he was in the band doesn't mean he didn't serve his country in some fashion, you fucking idiot. He did more than you did.
I'm helping of most military branches.
Lily, as she identified...
How big of a piece of shit do you have to be to look at somebody who joined the military to serve their country, even if it's in the capacity of being in the band to just be there for morale purposes, that still is effective to helping people through war times, you stupid piece of shit. How can you sit there and belittle somebody for doing that? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you that petty? Oh, wait. I think earlier in this video, she did refer to herself as being referred to as petty, vindictive, and abusive, I think, correct? Were those the 3 descriptors? Because all of those have been proven to be 100% fucking true.
That's the intent of the video. While initially presented as a breakdown of a My Little Pony episode, this video is largely an attack on Josh Scorcher.
Josh himself used to rant to my face about how college students need to have their opinions challenged. However, when his ignorant worldview was challenged, repeatedly, he decried it as emotional abuse. He once complained about the fact that I wouldn't let him compare Spike living with Twilight to self-hating black slaves in the South, despite the fact that this was literally my job that he was paying me to do.
This video...
Okay, so I want receipts for that. There has to be had to have been a conversation that happened between you, and judging by what you were saying earlier about how you can't read, like the context or whatever through text, I'm guessing you guys spoke to each other a whole bunch through text. So you would have receipts to show that this happened and that you were not okay with this. I want to see those receipts.
To the subjects of bullying and to its most infamous.
If you're
pro-choice, you're a baby killer, arrest somebody. Gays and lesbians are unnatural abominations. Stop them from getting married. Atheists are amoral agents of Satan. Put God in the schools and courts. Show them we're a Christian nation. Somebody ban this obscene art exhibit. If you want to believe in God and teach your kids about Christianity, that's your right. Please just let the rest of us make our own choices too. Stop persecuting me. Stop disrespecting my beliefs. Why are you waging a war against Christianity? I'm not entirely sure what that was about.
What does this have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Like, we were talking about slavery and Spike being a slave to Twilight, and the like literally fucking
then gets into the subjects of bullying and to its most infamous line.
Okay.
Attitude can fuck off and die in a ditch along with the malignant human cancer that defend it. If you're a child watching this right now and you're being bullied in school, here's what you do. You demand that your bully cease their behavior, and if they refuse, grab the heaviest object you can reliably swing and beat their fucking teeth in.
Besides implying...
I don't know how to respond to that, Brandon.
I do. That's fucked up.
Like, I would never advocate for violence. Do I wish I would have stood up for myself in high school a little bit more? Absolutely. But am I going to tell somebody else that that's the solution that they should take? No, I don't think that that's the solution in every situation.
Well, standing up for yourself is one thing. Physically assaulting a child is a completely different thing.
I don't know, man. That was not an okay fucking scenario to lay out there, Lily.
That Josh Scorcher is a malignant cancer, her encouragement of violence was not entirely well received. 8chan were, right after Lily's video on Josh Scorcher released, concerned for his well-being, where Josh Scorcher replied, quote, I see that some of you here are legitimately concerned for my well-being, as well as Ink Roses. I thank you for your concern. While I can't and won't speak for Ink Rose, I want to say that I'm okay. I can fight my own battles, and I've survived a lot of physical, mental, and emotional heartache in my life.
Everything Lily says is fucked up. Hey, Zeo Gold! Good to see you back again.
Josh
What's
also
up?
said that he intends to continue turning the other cheek, but this was likely posted before Josh Scorcher saw the video. Because on his Tumblr on October 11th, he announced he would no longer be.
Oh shit!
12 days later,
Internet drama incoming.
uploaded his response to Lily. Here, Josh Scorcher breaks down the falling out he had with her.
I went over to Lily's Tumblr a week later to scope things out, and sure enough, I saw Lily calling for the deaths of all Republicans. Sure enough, I saw Lily calling for the deaths
I know we've seen this, but I want to actually read it because I want the whole context.
and sure enough,
I'm not going to read it out loud. I'm just going to skim it real quick. You should also do the same. And for those of you watching, if you would like to read it, there it is. Please consider.
Okay.
I mean, he's not outright calling for the deaths of all Republicans, but he's kind of implying.
Lily calling for the deaths of all Republicans.
Trying to get my mojo flowing for Spooky Month.
Lily Pete has said
I haven't even decorated. I mean, we kind of decorated a little bit, but it's
We
just
can't afford
it's been a rough one.
exuberant decorations.
This has been a hellacious year.
alleged abusive behavior and never presented the chance to improve. That's a lie. I have called out her behavior several times. Lily
Show me.
has made excuses
Show me.
Yeah, right.
Show me.
I need receipts.
to make it look like I was the
Right now, this is just he said, she said. I want receipts. I want proof.
Josh
Give
Scorcher
me
is
something.
expressing a common experience with Lily in that there is initial hope to fix her destructive behavior, yet is typically met with dismissal. And with this video, he did more than just clear his name. He expressed his experience with Lily. This had a unifying aspect in that it allowed other.
But I
victims of
need
Lily-
receipts.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's a lot of back and forth. And
Okay.
and some.
Did you just hear that?
No. What, hold on. Let me go
That
back.
was important.
Lily. This had a unifying aspect in that it allowed other victims of Lily to realize how abusive Lily had been to them.
Because at the time,
Yeah. Okay. So he was like the catalyst, like to open the floodgates,
So-
basically.
It is a he said, she said, but if other people come and join in,
Then you've got a pattern to us. A
Yes.
pattern is established. Therefore, there is credence to their claims.
Allowed other victims of Lily to realize how abusive Lily had been to them.
because at the time I thought I was the only person that she had treated that kind of way, and I saw Josh Scorcher's video.
FYI, Lily Orchard is a huge fan of Movie Bob, which is why she has no problem calling for Republicans and right-wingers in general to be bumped off. I don't think it's right to say that about any group of people. I don't know, man. This whole fucking, like, hate the opposite side shit needs to stop.
Video talking about his experiences with her, I realized that not only was I not the only one she had treated that way, but she was using her platform to lure in people to do that too.
What is Movie
Josh
Bob?
Scorcher is expressing a similar sentiment
I have
in the
no idea.
discovery that he was not the only one treated this way.
And I'm not the only one. Other people have called out Lily's
Scorcher's
behavior
video
before,
talking
and
about
each
his experiences with her,
response from Lily
I
was
realized
that,
that
of indifference
not
or
only was I
claiming
not
that
the
they
only
are
one she had treated that way,
strong
but she
The
was
rest of
using
the video
her.
breaks down 8chan's concern.
What the
of
fuck
Lily
just happened?
Lily overstepping her boundaries
I don't know.
Did
That
you
was
hear
weird.
multiple versions?
Political differences
Yeah.
with Lily, him defending his role in the Marines, and both Lily's
Oh, he's a
claim that Ink Rose was
YouTuber.
lesbian, alongside her harassment campaign of pushing her viewers to
Kind of
create
content.
vulgar lewd art of her. Overall, Josh Scorcher's video was well received, and Lily did have a small decrease in subscribers due to it. On her Tumblr, she turned
Oh, okay.
tweet,
So
stating now she doesn't want all
Movie Bob essentially does like movie reviews and shit. Here it is. Looks like he does pretty. I mean, the thumbnails look really nice, so I'm assuming that they're probably fairly high quality. So yeah, he does movie reviews. Right on. I hadn't heard of this one before.
Apparently he's super political, though.
Republicans to die. Just 2, and for the rest to grow up. But then she was now stating she never called for the death of Republicans, and to that extent, Josh...
So why do people do this? Have you ever wondered that?
Do what?
Why do people go online and lie, blatantly contradict themselves in a post that can immediately, very easily be disproven by just simply going to Google and typing in a few words? Are these people...
Oh, he's one of those people? Ew! Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading Zio.
No! No! Oh, Jesus! No! God! No, 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 no. Can we, like, undo that section of the live stream, please? I don't want to promote anybody. After Brandon explained to me what Cuties was yesterday, I don't know if you were here for that, because I had never heard of it. Brandon was talking to me about this fucking movie yesterday. Oh my God. How is this allowed to be made?
Did you look it up?
No, I didn't need to, Brandon. You explained enough.
It was literally basically CP the movie.
Scorcher with him being Republican, and that her attitude was always just fuck them, going as far to say, quote, it's a complete and total
No, that's
lie.
in the
hell
video.
is that?
Right? I heard that and I was like, where the fuck is that coming from? It's a bass line that's playing in the video.
As quote unquote kill all Republicans is you literally cannot read. He is lying to look like more sympathetic to an audience that he knows will not bother to look for any more information on the subject.
I think it's less Josh lying and more him taking you at exact wording on certain posts far too seriously or at... Okay, if you literally say the words, kill all Republicans, how can you... What context, other context could you possibly take that in?
I mean, we could add the other context where you're talking about that if you're not rich, white, straight male, they're going to kill you, so kill them first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
We can add more context to it.
Trying to fix your fucking... Oh, it's not your camera. It's this. Whap. I fixed it. That's been bugging me since last night. I couldn't figure out why there was like a black border around your camera.
Unquote.
Turns out there was a fucking PNG behind your camera.
Kill all Republicans. She instead did state, quote, Republicans are trying to kill you, kill them first. Unquote.
Which is essentially the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Of Lily being mostly negative, more videos were coming out against her. Like Blake describing how his blog gushing over Lily impressed her.
This blog impressed Jerry enough to consider adding me to his team called Valkyr Studios.
What an odd choice of music for this section.
Director and girlfriend,
right?
Sarah Jennifer Cayley, who I would later find out was one of Jerry's many, many, many sock puppets.
See, I told you there was more than one. I told you, Brandon. This motherfucker's making people up all the time.
We've only known about Tara Callie.
No, we knew that she had made multiple sock puppets because we knew that from the fan fiction section where they were talking about how she was going through and posting all this shit and like circle jerking herself, basically.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But those didn't have names. It was just Tara Callie and Ballspawn and then background pony 12468.
You're right. They were completely anonymous accounts. Okay.
Yeah.
This is why this is why we make a good team, Brandon, because you help me fill in the little blanks that my old ass brain forgets.
And forced me to admit that I was sexually attracted to Jerry, that I was allowed into the group. Granted, that would only last for a few months, but when you find out why I only lasted a few months, you will understand why.
So my earlier assumptions that he actually did want to see Jerry remove his clothing was true. So yes, I was right about that.
Blake goes over his time in
Unless he just was like, yeah, I am sexually attracted to you just to get into the group.
And specific to him, being the...
Or he felt pressured into doing so.
Yeah, that too. Could be. There's just a lot of unknowns. Lily wants leftists to make a preemptive strike on Republicans because Lily honestly believes that Republicans want to kill all the minorities and LGBTQ people in sight. There are legitimately people on the right that are like that, the extreme far right, but there are people on the right that are decent, normal human beings too. That's what I was kind of getting at earlier in the stream. This like hating the other side just because they have differing opinions is so fucking stupid. I don't understand it. But there are people like that on both sides. On both sides.
Studio whipping boy.
Now, it would be one
whooping boy. See? Told you.
Pete was just verbally and emotionally abusive. But unfortunately, he had to take the next fucking step and be sexually abusive. You see, sometime in October of 2013, Pete approached me on Skype, talking about money troubles and conveniently mentioning how Tara was cam whoring to make ends meet. When I suggested that he do the same, because...
See, this is the angle that I was getting at earlier with the dating thing, that he was just inventing Tara to use as a pawn in his overarching chess game. But I still understand where you're coming at. Well, like, the impression of dating was there.
Mm-hmm.
In my defense, I mentioned that there are so many of his fans who are attracted to him. He, just like before, turned it around on me and made it all about how I wanted to see that and refused to take no for an answer, continuing to bother me until I finally caved.
Lily, just like her hero movie Bob, doesn't believe that there are any good people who are right-wingers.
Why am I not seeing
the chat? I don't know. YouTube's acting kind of fucking weird tonight. Like, it keeps telling... Like, at one point, we had 99 viewers, and I know that's not fucking true.
I think I got it.
And then we had, like, 2, and then we had, like, 5, and now we have 1, and I know we have more than 1, because I know you're here, and I know Zero Gold's here. It's just... No, now we have 3. Who knows?
I still see 1.
Which is not consent, by the way.
And the chat is also acting kind of funky tonight.
Blake goes on to say Lily was interrupted by family and didn't get past.
So both things are true in this scenario. So
yeah.
So he did have some desire to see this, but it made him very uncomfortable, and he didn't want to partake in that particular point in time. He wasn't ready for it, I guess. So he was in an abusive relationship, did also kind of want to see this happen, but also didn't want to see it happen. All 3 things, I guess, can be true.
Taking off her shirt. Blake also claims Lily flirted with a minor, but it's a bit more complex than that, and also brings up Stockholm.
This work was so disgusting that Nintendo gal, whom we met before, Pete's co-writer, voiced her own distaste for the direction the fic was taking and got fired for it.
Blake goes into other grievances and then into this.
The second question that is most likely on everyone's minds is, Blake, why have you been referring to Jerry as Jerry and she and whoops, got a little ahead of myself. He in this video when he came out as transgender months ago and changed her name to Lily. Are you by chance transphobic? Ooh. The answer is no, I am not. That Pete is using transgenderism to avoid criticism for their actions and to essentially get away with advocating murder.
Blake makes the argument that Lily is not true.
I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think anybody would go through that amount of turmoil, that amount of stress, and just general pain. You know, it's not an easy process to go through. I had I missed it. What happened?
Clicking a link to Stockholm is a good way to end up on a watch list.
True. Yeah, man, I just don't think somebody would do all of this, because it kind of looks like she's also been taking the hormone replacement stuff too. It's not like an easy thing to do necessarily. So I don't think that somebody would do that for such a small, insignificant, and petty reason as to get away from internet fucking drama and criticism. I just don't think that would happen.
Transgender because of her previous dislike of the community. Though Lily also carries the belief that such strong opposition to any community secretly means they are a part of it. And so Blake's reasoning doesn't hold up.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that June also was like, nah, I'm okay.
And on her Tumblr, she began quoting her own characters. The quotes dealing with power and revenge. She was also posting images of herself at fans' requests. This is how she was appeasing her fans, yet she was doing something else to defend herself against her opposition.
Why are they crotch shot?
Mysteriously,
that's
Lily
odd.
And Kelly's writings were being re-examined for their
Alcorative.
The Alcorative account.
Boom, Brandon, here's another one. I guarantee you that we're going to find out that Alcorative, who lives in Australia is Lily Orchard.
That Tara claimed ownership of deleted its only work. A mother's love, a daughter's passion, was wiped from the account. A strange happening, considering that by Lily's testimony, she was in jail. Lily had to step lightly. Starting 2017, she was expressed.
What did you miss? You know, not a lot, really. We haven't really had much to discuss in this one. It's just been a lot of like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean...
Well, I mean, like, Lily became an editor for Josh Scorn, and then they broke it off, which caused Lily to go through a downward spiral of antagonizing hating anything that Josh liked, kind of thing.
Yeah, Lily has more sock accounts than most dudes have socks. You get applause for that. That shit's funny.
How 8chan and QB Farms were doxing and harassing her. Adding to this list of opponents was Anime Christie, an artist that found that her art made it into Lily's video.
Before we go any further, who wants to place bets that Lily Orchard took these pieces of art without permission and does not credit the artist? Any takers? Anybody want to place bets? Come on, Brandon. How much you betting?
You know what? I'll bet $200.
That doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that does happen.
No,
that
you
does.
said nope. You've already said that it does not happen.
A friend to approach Lily, asking Lily to credit Anime Christie for the image, which Lily responded, quote, "I only credit artwork if it has a considerable presence within the video," unquote. The friends seem to understand that...
I think that means I win.
Sure. I have it in my pocket right now.
Could you not use her artwork then? Unquote. To which Lily
I'll think about it.
I'll think about it.
What a piece of shit, dude.
At some point after, Anime Christie allegedly contacted Lily directly. But Lily remembered a time Anime Christie allegedly slighted her, which is when Lily sent her this screenshot of her Tumblr implying that a credit would be pointless. This story...
I can't believe you used my art without crediting me. Credit me in the description. Your signature is on the fucking image and nobody reads the description. Why? The amount of time it took you to type out that response, you could have just put the fucking name of the person who did the art for your video in the description, you stupid ass.
She didn't even do the art for the video. She stole the art for the video.
No. I'm saying Lily used the art.
Yeah, but Lily didn't get the art. She stole the art.
I know, but what I'm saying is this person is saying, just credit me in the description. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck your image. You know, nobody reads the description. But I'm saying, like, in the time it took Lily to type out your signature is on the fucking image and nobody reads the description, she could have just typed the person's name in the description and said, this is where this art came from. What do you mean you'll think about it?
Then became public.
Brandon, what is your response?
Lily hates art. I was reading Zero Gold, which says Lily hates artists, even going as far as saying that what artists do isn't real work. What's my response on what?
Oof's comment, Brandon.
I know. What do you all think about what?
No, he says, what do you mean you'll think about it? In response to what you said, I'll think about it. Ugh. Moving on. This fucking guy. Holy shit. How do I run a live stream with this guy?
Things happen since then.
Ugh.
Twitter with users tweeting
No.
respect the artist.
Why did that turn on? Oh, because I hit the C button.
First, she muted tweets that included the hashtag. Second, she told Anime Christie that if it's that important, then she should file a DMCA. This is a copyright process that takes the video down. And so, Anime Christie filed the DMCA.
Are you dudes high?
Lily's video down.
No.
Not tonight.
I meant what Lily said. What
Nope.
Lily said about the no one reads the description, or the part where she said that her signature was on the picture.
I don't even know, man. Now I'm confused.
Yeah. I don't think I said I'll think about it.
You did. It had. I think it was in response to the bet or whatever.
Down. Lily then filed to get the video back up, a process that can only be stopped by a lawsuit, which would be highly unlikely. On her Tumblr, she was planning to address the drama head-on under a video titled "An Artist Meltdown Story." In the post, she stated,
June, that said an artist meltdown saga. That says an artist's meltdown saga.
An artist meltdown story.
Wrong, June.
In the post, she stated,
Are you dudes high? I didn't hear that comment. No, but we are having a fucking blast. At least I am.
Feeling just how much I'd enrich their lives and change their views and help them grow as people. I still get that kind of.
This is just how we are. We don't need drugs.
Garbage. It's why I made Garbreak. It's why I'm in the process of making this. Unquote. Though Lily regards Garbreak as a success, current day the video received so much hate that she took it down. And with Garbreak, the video against Anime Christie was also taken down for the same reason. In it, she recaps the situation up to this point and makes her intentions clear.
One could argue that I could have just given her the credit if it was that important to her and let her have such a petty victory, but to me, it's the principle that matters. This is not the way you behave when you want something from me.
You mean asking you nicely if you could spend a few seconds just to copy and paste her name into the description saying thanks for the art?
She wasn't even saying, like, remove my art, dude. She was just asking for credit. I don't understand why people have such an issue with this. And then to say, like, artists don't do work. Dude, like, I don't like to brag about things that I do, but when I do artwork for like, video games that I make, I spend literally days or weeks, tons and tons of hours on a single piece of artwork sometimes for games that I make. Like, go fuck yourself if you're that kind of person that thinks that, oh, you make art, that's easy. Eat
and
dick.
By the way, yes, oof. The My Little Pony Association is probably one of the worst associations Lily has.
Art takes time, effort, and talent. Something that Lily lacks in the talent side of things.
You do not run in, make demands, and then try in a hilariously unsuccessful manner to sabotage my career when you don't get your way. And that's a hard lesson that every diva artist is going to have to learn. It doesn't matter how slighted you think you are. It doesn't matter how betrayed you think you are. When you want something from me, the only thing that matters is your behavior if you want to get me to do something for you. I do not cave to threats. I do not cave to grabbing all your mates and dogpiling me. Josh tried that crap twice, and that's someone with a massive and rabid fan base who will go so far as to dox me and threaten to kill me and my family. And it's still
man, preaching to the choir, dude. I spent days just sketching. Dude, you got to join our Discord, man. We have an artist set. I completely forgot. I was so we have an artist section on our Discord, and one of our guys on there has created a sequencer to create like Super Nintendo music with Game Maker. After we're done with this after we're done with this episode, I'll like do a little bit of a cut, and then I want to actually show that on the stream because it's super fucking cool. But yeah, man, join the description. Check that link out in the description. I want to see some of your artwork, dude. I love sharing artwork and seeing what other people make.
Besides showing
I'm not artistic.
Post of support that she screenshotted and collected, she's still attacking Josh Scorcher. She's also claiming that his audience directly was threatening her and her family. But here, Lily only shows screenshots of the video as would appear in the YouTube stream.
Yeah, that's because going through the comments and finding comments that say that kind of shit would require effort. Something that we've established at this point that fucking Ballspawn, Jerry, Lily,
by the way,
whatever the hell you want to call this person.
This is Lily's video that's on screen, right?
Yes.
And he posts this picture which says, before you watch, read this. Do not go to his channel and spam hate comments.
I completely glossed over that. You're absolutely right. That's pretty funny. Also, I also find it funny that I was like, hey, join the Discord server, and Stream Elements is like, here's the link.
Well, Stream Elements is the most fervent viewer.
Right?
Provide evidence of such egregious accusations.
Yeah, because that requires effort.
I think Jude skipped over it too.
I think so. He does a really good job of kind of like leaving little breadcrumbs throughout the parts of his video that he then goes back and extrapolates on a little bit more.
Back to Josh Scorcher.
He might go back.
Did not just not provide evidence, she also disregarded Josh stating this in his video.
There you go. See?
So I am begging, pleading everyone who watches this video, do not go and leave death threats or harassment on Lily's video. Please. That's not acceptable under any circumstances.
But what about the second video from 2013 that Lily also showed? This seems to be a bit more of a legitimate connection, where Josh even attributes the video to his audience leaving death threats. But in this follow-up is furious at his audience for it.
And if you also check the front page of his Tumblr, death threats. Did you guys learn nothing? Did you guys learn nothing from the Master of Foxes? How I flew off the handle at you guys again because you freaking sent your death threats! And now you're doing it to Ballspawn.
Lily, after receiving such...
The solution to this problem, Jack, I'm just going to be blunt and completely honest with you, is to just not engage. You should not have uploaded a video in response. You should have just fucking let Lily just go on her little tirades, and eventually the steam would have ran out and it would have been fine and good. Unless she had done something that was like legally, something against the law or something violent or threatening in some way like that, it's a little different, but she's just on the internet talking shit as far as I can see. I didn't see any like huge red flags. The only big one that I saw really was when she was like, yeah, kill all the Republicans, or kill them first, as she said. But yeah, just don't engage in it, man. Then you don't have to worry about your audience going in, death threats.
Tremendous pushback was hiding the dislike bar and either removing comments or selecting...
I missed the dislike bar.
For example,
I do too. I still have it.
128,000 views.
Exactly, oof.
Comments.
I'm glad you get it.
All the comments outnumber the total amount of comments. All of these comments are suspiciously all positive, except for this one where a user asked, quote, "What, Lily, do I need a YouTube Red account to see the like ratio?" Unquote. Which Lily responded, quote, "No, the like/dislike ratio needs to actually mean anything for me to consider showing it." Unquote. Lily had made a grave error. While the initial Anime Christie drawbomb was minor, it had ballooned in the worst way possible. In her video, she uses an artistic depiction of herself to express her points. This is what is known within her community as a puppet. Josh Scorcher's puppet, via his pony, is Firebrand, etc. This is a very common theme because a fair portion of creators in this space are also artists, and did not take kindly to Lily's response to one.
Yeah.
As various creators...
Like, you were in the... Okay, so, we were talking about the MLP fan base yesterday in the last live stream, and how I was like, looking back, I see a lot of things that are just like questionable and make you kind of raise an eyebrow, and there's just a lot of really just creepy shit in that fan base. But you know what else is also in that fan base? There are a ton of really, really talented artists in that fan base. A lot of them that I got to meet.
That used to be in that fan base.
Yes, they have since branched off and are now doing their own things, kind of like me. Kind of make my own shit,
Responded to this new wave of hate by making a 6-point list of criticisms. Points 1, 4, and 6 are, quote, "You're arrogant, have a huge ego, think your opinion is the opinion," unquote, are all the same. These criticisms relate to Lily's presentation.
What does
being either perceived as
the opinion mean?
Her points appearing to be exhausted.
Meaning that every other opinion is irrelevant and yours is the only one that matters.
But wouldn't that just be fact at that point?
Yes.
Points 2 and 3 are also the same thing, and relate to her not engaging with criticism, whether through selectively approving comments or not engaging with creators who bring forward this criticism. In point 2, she ironically states, quote, "What I actually do, as I've explained numerous times, is filter out uninteresting comments to only show the ones that I actually bother to engage with," unquote. Lily feels
that sounds exhausting.
Of why she would engage with
right?
comments. Then in point 3, she explains why she doesn't do...
We don't get a lot of comments on our videos, but like I always love responding to them. And even the occasional like douchebag that comes through, I respond to everybody. Like, I don't give a fuck if somebody doesn't like me, but I enjoy it.
This post is 1,265 words, yet none of it addresses the real criticisms, like her misreporting of Josh Scorcher. her weaponizing her audience to make unwelcome art of Inkros, her failure to address the contradictions between her admitting she was abusive towards Josh Scorcher.
Yeah, she's just a bad person. All the way around, she's just a bad person.
Her connections to Tara Callie, and to that extent, her connections to the work A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion, the entirety of Stockholm, and putting Nintendo Gal 55 under duress to write the work. Her inclusion of Falcon in her game Doomsday Ascending, or her poor handling of the anime Christine situation. These were only some of the publicly known criticisms of Lily Orchard. But Lily did not
There's a lot.
address these because they were already becoming...
Has Lily been identified? That right there, that is Lily.
Widely known.
In terms of what Lily's actual name is, I don't know, nor do I really care, honestly.
Regardless of her points, viewers were perceptive and were already suspicious of her content, especially the ones introduced to her work, seeing the limited comments and the disabled dislike bar. Perhaps it was this continued negative attention that was making Lily more erratic. When asked, quote, lying all tied up and helpless in a cage full of horny dogs, unquote, Lily responded with, quote, well, on one hand, they're dogs, which is a downside. On the other hand, that's extremely degrading and humiliating, which is an upside. I'll let the asks make the case for either.
Okay. Lily thinks since she likes the slice of life genre over action, she thinks that slice of life is objectively a better genre than action. I like a healthy mix of both. I love when a show is able to pull off the slice of life feel, but also have a little bit of an action edge to it as well.
Unquote. On Twitter, she was seen correcting her mom for misgendering her.
I don't have an opinion. I think all genres can be great if done right. For the most part.
Yet correct the claim of her being high-end autistic. This is where Lizzie Orchard comes in. Lizzie was a woman that Lily was dating at the time, and though not married, Lily would later take the last name Orchard, changing her name from Lily Pete to Lily Orchard.
And here we've got full circle, Brandon.
Lily's mother stated that Lily just holds grudges and refuses to see the other person's opinion, and so on. Lily then jumps in to defend Lizzie. Quote, you talk to my person's opinion...
Hold on, we gotta back up a minute. I've lost track. What the fuck? Okay, so... Okay, so this is...
arguing with Lily's mom on behalf of Lily. Lily's mother stating that Lily just holds grudges and refuses to see the other person's opinion, and so on. Lily then jumps in to defend Lizzie. Quote, you talk to my wife like that one more time and I'll break your fucking nose, bitch.
Dude, that's your mom.
Unquote. Lily then again berates her mother for misgendering her, then tells her to grow up. After
the fucking irony of this moron telling anybody to grow up. That is fucking hilarious. High ego, absolutely. Like, Lily is 1,000% a narcissist. Like, we've known this pretty much since the beginning of this.
Yet another response from her mother requesting Lily manage Lizzie better. Lily threatens her mother with violence again. This confrontation ends with Lizzie.
Well, what does she say?
Lily threatens her mother with violence.
You get to call me. You don't get to call me and rant and rave long distance. Sorry, manage your wife better if you don't like the answer. I've had enough with your snot-nosed attitude. Clean it up or I'll pummel it out of you. Man, I'm kind of glad that I don't have this relationship with my mother.
This confrontation ends with Lily's mother's...
Don't poke this particular bear. I have a feeling Mom would fuck you up. I'm just saying. I'm on the side of Mom. I just don't like Lily, so yeah, me too. High-end autistic isn't a thing. That's not how autism works. And none of her children have autism to begin with.
I thought she did.
I don't know, Brandon.
Claiming further down that all the diagnoses directed at her and her brother were overturned recently. Lily at this point
you were correct.
From conflict to conflict. Now in September, she was allegedly talking about Britt, referring to her as an old friend who she had a falling out with because Britt wouldn't listen to her personal issues, and that Lily had enough and left a page-long speech before removing her from her life.
Reason you suck speech, okay?
Where Lily also calls her a rumor mongerer. But what sparked this?
And how that ended up happening was kind of funny, because I released...
Don't be. Lily's as toxic as she is. Well, maybe, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. There we go.
I mean, she kind of seemed that way.
Just because there wasn't as many of them.
That's the only interaction we saw with her, though, Brandon. That's not enough to get an entire character of somebody. Like, I'm sure that you could take a snippet of my life at some point where I was pissed off at somebody and just show that to people and be like, look at this piece of shit. And from the outside looking in, yeah, it would probably look like I'm an asshole. But I'm not really an asshole.
I always look like a pure, perfect being.
You look like a penis.
And Lily immediately started going into damage control, started claiming
I'm sorry.
she didn't even really know me and Blake.
Let me go
There were
neutral.
cases.
It's a good place to be.
I was a fair weather friend. We weren't even friends. She was name dropping me, which at the time I hadn't revealed my legal name publicly yet, so she was just straight
Yeah,
up
that's what I was getting at. Oof, it was
This
out of
is why
context.
Lily was so aggressive. But little did she know.
Oh
Brittany
my
had
God.
ammunition.
and I let her go on like that for about a week, and then I dropped our direct Skype conversations, proving that all wrong, and she immediately privated her Twitter.
The chat logs between Britt and Tara and Britt and Lily, as shown earlier, were now all made public.
So, this is what I was saying. Like, why the hell would you do these things knowing that there is concrete evidence that is easily accessible?
Because people aren't as smart as Lily in Lily's head, so they wouldn't think to do this.
You're probably completely right about that. It's either that or Lily was like, they'll never do this to me because, they need me or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, narcissism, and I really fucking hate narcissists, dude. I really think narcissists are the worst people.
Tara's persistence in trying to get her.
I got from a good source that Lily's mother is petty, vindictive, and probably why Lily loves slice of life. Yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about Lily's mom personally to make a judgment on Lily's mom. I'll take your word for it, but I don't like Lily. That I can say definitely.
Tara's strange description of Tara being a 6'3" tall redhead,
Which we discovered last night, Brandon, is literally almost impossible.
And Lily would resort to attributing highly malicious comments to Britt. But these were not very convincing, and Lily's history continued to be re-examined. Like with this 20-minute-long video compiling instances where Lily directly plagiarized from the My Little Pony TV Tropes page. The videos criticizing her had hardly slowed down. They were also getting broader in examining Lily rather than examining individual.
I know it's subjective, but I've been thinking it every time that she shows up on screen in this form. I hate the way this looks. I don't like the colors. I don't like the art style. I hate everything about how this looks. Just opinion. I feel like I need to throw that out there.
At the start of 2018, Lily
I just don't think it looks very good.
One that did not originate from her, and one that she could use to improve her image.
This could destroy my career here, guys.
I'm sorry, Toon, but you should have thought of that before.
That was fucking trippy, dude. All of a sudden, there was like this ethereal voice, like behind and above me. Just, I'm sorry.
my career
Caught me off guard.
Guys.
I'm sorry, Toon, but you should have thought of that before you started sexting like a 14-year-old girl.
In 2018, the creator Toon Critic Y2K, also known as Zach, was exposed for having inappropriate relations with a minor. The news initially spread within a pocket of creators and their friends, and so a private call between Josh.
You look like you want to say something, Brandon. You got that look on your face. Let's hear it.
My statistic holds true.
For those of you that don't know, Brandon, fill the lovely people in on what your statistic is.
Matthew came up to me one day and asked me if I heard about the drama of a certain highly regarded YouTuber, and I said, well, he's either going to be a pedophile, a scammer, or he's abusive in some way, some form. And so far, I have not been wrong.
He has been spot on. I tried to kind of think like, nah, you're not right, Brandon, but then we started thinking about it and we're like, shit. Yeah, you're kind of right.
Trying to get Toon Critic to turn himself into the police took place.
Dude, look, I made a stupid mistake, or I'm trying to fucking change from that.
Sexting a 14-year-old girl is not a mistake. That is a conscious decision that you make, you fucking moron.
I get it, alright? I did some stupid stuff.
I really hope somebody in this voice call right now is like, no,
Good predictor. Yeah, it literally has not failed me. And
He's not wrong.
I have seen so much drama with YouTubers, and I have not been wrong once.
Hey, alright, I'm trying to fucking change from that. I get it, alright? I did some stupid stuff.
If I may explain as calmly as possible, a mistake is
Thank
saying
you.
something inappropriate.
Yes.
A mistake is calling someone the wrong gender nowadays. What you did is a crime.
Spot on. Spot on.
And so throughout this call, the creators were offering to keep it private from their side if Toon Critic turned himself in. While Toon Critic initially
was EDP before EDP.
Well, to them wanting to verify that
Yeah.
they actually went to the police
Because what's going to happen
Fucking
is after the
dork.
24 hours, we will still be contacting the police.
Oh,
now,
shit.
if you've done it before us, then, you know, it'll just be us giving them the information they need to
You
follow
guys
through
not
with
do
the
that,
case.
please. If you
But
will
we
let
have
me
to.
do this.
Toon Critic had no intention of actually turning himself in, and this call was posted on January 25th. And with that, more and more people were coming out against Toon Critic, including an artist known as Patchwork Heart.
But he was obsessed
So how does
with
Toon
my
Critic
breasts and
relate to
sexual
Lily?
roleplay.
I have no idea.
Like, I feel like we're watching a different video now
Desperate to
about a
stick
different
around, I
person.
didn't fight back against any of it.
I'm sure we're gonna find out here in a minute, but
Badly for these people to like me. I tried to elevate their voices to let these people be heard, but nobody listened. No one except Sketchy the Changeling, Lily Pete, Elliot.
there it is,
and Aeon
Lily Pete.
James.
And then another creator came out as a victim of Toon Critic. Their video was mirrored on Lily's channel, where Lily also made the allegation that Josh Scorcher knew about Toon Critic for some time, yet didn't do anything. Josh Scorcher on his Tumblr refuted this and turned it back on Lily, stating that she knew about the allegations because Patchwork Heart told Lily. Patchwork then informed
Like,
Josh
this is
Scorcher
so
that Lily kept
much
quiet as per
just-
their request. Josh Scorcher states that
like,
tried to
he
explain
said, she said
that
shit, man.
Lily still knew about the allegations.
I need
Patchwork
receipts.
responds by taking
Yeah.
the blame, and that they should have allowed Lily to go entirely public as soon as she was informed. Josh Scorcher then states that Lily is still at fault, and still did not inform the public, yet is accusing him of doing the same thing. The following responses go into the minutiae of how it should have been handled. And then, in the following month, in February, Josh released a video breaking down the Toon Critic situation. This largely involves a video by Dr. Wolf that was poorly received.
Jesus Christ. How many people have we been introduced to in this video, dude?
It's a whole community.
Like, it is so many. Like, so in the last, like, 5 minutes, we've been introduced to a whole new group of people.
The season 2 cast, Matthew.
It's kind of what it is, like a reality show. And we're on to season 2, and we got this whole new cast of crew, characters coming in. Lily made a video during the time of Time to Law was on Toon Critic's butt, and that video allowed Toon Critic to do what was needed to avoid getting locked up. That's wonderful. I'm so happy that people like that exist to allow child predators to continue existing out in the world. That's wonderful. Perfect. Oh, it's so great.
While accepting Toon Critic's crimes were egregious, he was petitioning his audience to forgive
I fucking hate people. Let's just be real.
While good intention, the rawness of the situation combined with the crimes and the countless victims coming out meant that this video was not well received. And with Josh Scorcher sharing this video, in his own video he was apologizing for it now, understanding that it was a major miscommunication. He also apologizes to Patchwork for his responses on Tumblr and then to Lily.
I also want to take this time to apologize to Lily Pete. In my anger, I accused and judged you of things without any evidence. The very thing I didn't want people to do to us.
Yes, and this is what I have been pointing out every time that you get brought up in this video, that you're just like, well, she said this. Show me. Show me where she said this. I need to see. I can't just take somebody's fucking word for something, you know? That's just not okay.
Pull a Brittany and show receipts.
Yeah, Brittany had it figured out. She came with like fucking 7,000 screenshots of this disgusting conjecture of just ugh. You didn't do that.
Lily, as claimed in the comments on Josh Scorcher's video, did not accept the apology. Many comments state that he should not have apologized to Lily at all. As for Lily, she was taking Josh Scorcher's submittance and running with it. She was taking the Toon Critic situation and a friendship with Patchwork and also running with that. Lily, as this was all coming out, made her own statement on Tumblr stating that the Brony fandom has a pedophilia.
I agree. It absolutely did. The two largest sites for fan content, FimFiction and Derpy Boru, are packed to the brim with
pedophiles.
I'm assuming that
or pedophilia or something
just
like that.
barely skirts U.S. federal law on a technicality, and you love every fucking minute of it. There are a large number of fan artists and fan writers who produce and get away with it because they just barely stay within those boundaries.
A problem. Here she cites two offending websites that are packed to their brim with content for these people.
Lily wasn't even trying to let Toon Critic walk free. She made the video to spite Josh Scorcher. I mean, but at the same time, like, her petty actions led to a child predator being allowed free. So, I mean, even if that wasn't her intentions, she's still an idiot for getting herself involved in that to begin with.
And Derpy Boru. She also states, quote, there are a large number of fan artists and fan writers who produce redacted and get away with it because they just barely stay within those boundaries.
I can't wait till the day when boundaries is redacted.
Unquote. She specifically cites Volcon.
Fan writers is first.
Say that these people are freaks, and the acceptable amount of this content is 0%. This was found in her script for a now deleted video, but this video has been archived where she states these things and more. She also made an addendum video where she presses the dagger further into Dr. Wolf for his video. The glaring issue is not so much Lily's statements that there is content on fanfiction meant to gratify predators. It is that Lily has written this content.
Yes,
Lily
thank you.
has made games with images explicitly sharing this content. Among those dedicated to this content, Lily sits at the top by co-authoring an over 700,000 word piece gratifying such content. But Lily still had her plan.
She does it to cover her ass. Like, straight up, that's the only reason she does it. That started way back with the Toon Critic situation, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that whole mess. No, Toon Critic was
Kind of weird that he has himself like pulled out of the video in these sections.
Right.
I've thought that since the last episode. I was just like, that's kind of strange. I'd like to hear his side of the conversation.
All this other stuff. Well,
I'd like to hear the questions that he's asking.
Right.
Logs with Lily and proving that Lily herself was a pedophile and into kids and animals and all this other crap. So when the Toon Critic situation popped off, Lily latched onto it and started championing herself as this voice of reason and righteous anger toward the pedophile problem in the Brony community.
Can you imagine how insanely frustrating this must have been for her initial friend circle, who knew what she was, what she was into, to then see her be like a champion against these things, just for the fact, or just for the chance or the hope that it might get her out of this controversy. It's got to be exceptionally frustrating to deal with.
Advertising herself as a safe haven for victims and all this other stuff. And while she was doing that, anytime she was asked about the accusations against
Oof
her,
is melting.
use that and be like, how could
Oof, it's cold as shit here. What are you talking about?
against this other predator
I
over
have
here?
2 sweatshirts off.
I woke up this morning, it was 64 degrees in my house.
Even minimal success, she was
Dang, 40 right now.
In your room?
64, I think is what it's saying.
Okay. Finally cold. I agree, man. I've been looking forward to fall weather.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, guys, completely glossed over this, but I'll do an actual announcement video for this, later on. But this upcoming weekend, there will be no streams, nothing, no content at all, because I will actually be out of town for Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday. So the next time you guys will see this channel live will likely be Tuesday of next week, potentially maybe Sunday night at the earliest.
To get him into a call with Patchwork and Josh Scorcher's own brother, where both Patchwork and Lily lecture Josh on his handling of the situation. After an hour of this, Lily drops the veil and plays her hand.
But personally, I think a much bigger, a much more impactful
gesture in that sense would be to just take down all 4 of them.
Definitely something to consider.
All four of what?
All 4 response videos. The 2 to me, the 1 to Master of Foxes, the 1 to Flames on Fire. All of them.
Certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
Lily is then met with grunts from Josh Scorcher.
All the 4 of those videos were emblematic of this kind of jump immediately to the worst extreme possible under the face of minor criticism.
says the narcissist.
Minor criticism to something you liked.
To this, Josh did not comply. Those videos, the ones criticizing Lily Orchard personally, which are wholly unrelated to the Toon Critic situation, remain up. Lily kept on pushing and pushing, but she pushed too much. In March, Lily, in a Tumblr post asking how to handle Josh, stated, quote, "Turn his own tactics back on him. Spam dislike his videos. Flood his comments. Rate his streams will..."
Ah, you can't, man. You cannot do a call to action. It's not a matter of reasoning with him anymore. We all tried to reason with him, and he gave a resounding "go fuck yourself." Well, I'm sorry, if you came to me and you were like, "I have issues with the video you made, I want you to take it down," I would probably tell you to go fuck yourself.
Flood his comments. Rate his streams will probably be the most effective. Unquote. Lily was weaponizing her audience to harass Josh. That's when...
Oh, guys! Brandon has the elusive Moshi. Look how cute. All you can see is her tail, but she is the most adorable kitty. There she is. With her little white paws and cute little white face markings. Oh my god, it's cute! That was worth a pause.
This was explosive because bringing up Stockholm brings up Lily's contradictions with her stance on fanfiction works. It brings up Tara Callie, which Lily addressed here, conveniently stating how Tara Callie had confided in her interests to people like Britt, but fails to bring up how Tara Callie was always convincing people like Britt, Blake, and Nintendo Gout to enter
legendary cat.
With Lily, how Lily was
just like her hero, no bad tactics, only bad targets. Yeah, she's an idiot, dude. 100%.
How Tara was a director for Lily's videos, or how Lily was so close to Tara she had a key to her apartment and somehow was allowed to beat her up in jail.
I forgot that happened. She said she went to jail and physically assaulted a prisoner in jail as a visitor. What a fucking moron. There's anybody with a thinking brain would read that and go, "You are straight up fucking lying. There's no way that happened. Like, nobody believes you. Shut up."
Had become so convoluted that she had trouble keeping up with them. The messages she was getting were so great.
That's the problem with lying. You have to remember what you've said. If you don't lie, you don't have to remember the...
Each lie is an additional strand.
Yeah, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember. That's a Judge Judy quote.
Because now in April, Josh sent a cease and desist to Lily to stop her now nearly 3 years...
Lily is stupid enough to be twins. There are cameras and police everywhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. And me and Brandon were kind of talking about it in the last live stream about how prison visitations go. And I'm pretty sure it plays out like it does in like movies and shit, dude. You go and you sit down in a chair, they give you a fucking phone, and you talk to somebody through a glass wall. I don't think that you're actually ever intermingling necessarily with the prisoners. Prisoners. This person would be in prison, not jail. Prison. There's a very big distinct difference between the two facilities.
That did not have much substance. And back on Tumblr, she addresses a Twitter post of Josh screenshotting a chapter from what is presumably Stockholm. Lily is stating that Josh is sharing CP, and accused her of creating it without tangible proof. But there was plenty. Josh even reposted not only a post shipping him and Inkros, but also Lily admitting, quote, "Also I wrote a book where a 15-year-old ran off with a 38-year-old and you all thought it was lovely." Unquote. This is the
Oh my god, no!
Stockholm entry Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle!
What?
Quote, "Also I wrote a book where a 15-year-old ran off with a 38-year-old and you all thought it was lovely." Unquote.
We all know what happens to people like Lily in prison.
8-year-old and you all thought it was lovely. Unquote. This is the Stockholm entry Razzle Dazzle.
This motherfucker named the disgusting story that he wrote about a 15-year-old running off with a 38-year-old. He named it Razzle Dazzle.
I can only think of one thing when I think of Razzle Dazzle.
What, Brandon?
And that's She-Ra.
Gonna be honest, I didn't see that coming.
Raz.
I don't know, Brandon. I didn't watch it.
In the past,
For the most part, Razzle Dazzle and Littlest Dazzle especially. The original Stockholm and the first third of the Dash family are in dire need of a rewrite, though. Razzle Dazzle is my favorite as well. A rewrite would be interesting. I know creators are critical of their past work. That being said, do you still like your Stockholm series? Stockholm was disgusting. You should never, ever, 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 ever. I was joking. We were going to do a review of it until we started actually getting into what the context of that work, that medium was actually, what actually contained
on stream.
What was actually contained in said medium. I don't know how we would review that, and I don't want to subject myself to listening to 700,000 words.
I know how we would review it.
By printing it out and burning it in a pit of fire?
I will read you a page. Redacted. 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 Redacted.
Yeah.
That this was her favorite entry as well.
0 out of 10. Shit writing. Oh, Brandon, we got some reading.
Besides lines in Razzle Dazzle.
Can you read that?
I don't wanna.
I will, Sonata giggled, licking and suckling along her neck. Tashio giggled as Sonata's tongue darted around her neck. Careful, Sana, that tickles. Tickle, tickle. Sonata cooed, giggling with glee. Oh, you are ticklish here, it's funny. Adagio laughed as she squirmed away from her. Sonata! She shrieked in a fit of giggles. That tickles. Brandon, you want to pick it up?
80 hours is way too much. Sorry, Sonata grinned, completely betraying her words. Okay, I won't do that anymore. She nuzzled her neck, opting now to give attention to her collarbone.
Okay, we're gonna move on. This is getting weird.
Quote, first off, have you done this?
How can you write this with a straight face? Not enough weight to make me read Stockholm or Razzle Dazzle.
I can't read it with a straight face.
What they want? Quote, and the word mommy being used 545 times, mostly in a sexual connotation. Lily not only describes this as her favorite entry, but also
those words are ruined for me.
So, Review Tech USA had he said something one time in one of his live streams that I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He said that after the age of like 8 or 9, the words mommy and daddy should leave your fucking vocabulary, and I agree.
Yes. If you're not a young child and you're saying mommy and daddy, I'm going to cringe.
1,000%.
Adagio as a human, and makes a very specific reference.
Also, sorry I'm moving around so much, guys. I fucked my knee up today, and it is really bugging me.
Rivals Fluttershy when it comes to sincere kindness. I'm pretty sure you can make an alicorn. You can make a good story out of anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have more Mommy Dagio to write.
Back to April 2018,
no.
Stating that Josh Scorcher was an alt-right mouthpiece, and that he was somehow enabling pedophilia. From here, Josh Scorcher, escalating from the cease and desist, announced he was getting a restraining order and taking a bit of a hiatus. Lily still continued to post about Josh Scorcher and continued to get attacked for.
Jesus Christ, man. Josh, see, this is the telltale signs of a narcissist. One person slighted her, and for years, she's been posting and posting and posting about this person who clearly doesn't want anything to do with her at this point. Well, not enough weed to make me read Stockholm or Razzle Dazzle. Feel that, dude. Feel that.
During this time, she even had a falling out with Patchwork. As for Lily's social media accounts, the hate had gotten.
This is also a clear indication of a narcissist.
What's that?
She can't seem to keep a relation.
Yeah, because everybody around her fucking hates her. I don't even know her. I've never met her in my life, and I don't want to know her or meet her ever in my life.
That a different person would be controlling them. This only lasted.
Can't speak for you, but that's how I feel.
And the person controlling them went under the alias Maud Ibarra, who claimed that Lily was receiving hate for being against CP. While this was a lie, it is
finally we got the new alias Maud Ibarra.
and the volume would only increase as she posted what would become her most viewed video to date. On September 24th, 2018,
How are we getting? Yesterday, Brandon, I told Bannerford, ask you about Steven Universe. I never in a million years expected Steven Universe was gonna fucking show up in this video. Are you kidding me? So I'm guessing we're probably gonna end up hearing Brandon's opinions on Steven Universe at some point during this video.
Nope.
posted Steven Universe is garbage, and here's why.
Most people are tickle your spouse with a feather freaky. Lily is use the whole bird freaky. Dude, I like you. I hope you stick around, man. You got a good sense of humor.
By another similar yet controversial video titled The Legend of Korra is garbage, and here is why. While they like to dislike,
I mean, I agree with both of those statements.
Yeah, that makes me feel bad because I agree with both of them.
YouTube Studios showing that both videos received around 75% likes. The Steven Universe video was particularly scorned.
Things that cannot and should not be forgiven, and yet it insists on doing them anyway. Steven Universe is that mother who tells her daughter, "Oh, that boy pulled your hair because he likes you," tacitly teaching them that affection is shown through violence. Do I think Rebecca Sugar is a fascist sympathizer? No.
Okay, so I had a fear because I did watch like a 2-hour-long video of somebody ranting about Steven Universe.
You were thinking it was this one?
And I thought, oh god, did I watch a Lily Orchid video? I can now confirm I have not seen this video.
Brandon didn't give Lily Orchid that view, at least.
Anybody the conclusion that she is based on Steven Universe's content? No. I maintain that Rebecca Sugar remains completely unaware of the implications of her.
So, real brief, what my opinion on Steven Universe is I think Rebecca Sugar is just a shit writer. There you go.
Okay, this is what I will say about Steven Universe. This will be my quick thing, is that Steven Universe is the, perfect description of a war. Because you have the start of the thing, which is really nice, and then Rebecca Sugar comes in and tries to fight it. And the best way to see this conflict is with Yellow Diamond. Because one moment Yellow Diamond is a strict military commander, fucking badass as all hell, and the next moment she's bawling her eyes out.
Yep. That's where I'm at too. She's just not a good writer.
Not paying attention outside of her very specific goals.
The common critique, not relating to
which is a shame because this show really had some potential.
Dude, there was some really good.
There were some legitimately tear-jerking fucking moments in that show. Seriously good stuff.
There was such. We're
gonna get into it. No, we're not getting into it. Damn it. I have not watched anything after Steven Universe concluded.
Same.
I just don't care.
The show does have its complexities and achievements.
Steven got gigantic. That's weird.
On US television to feature a lesbian
I guess growing up, but
mature topics and pushes
his boss told Greg, I think.
Fair amount of praise and criticism. As to how this relates to Lily lambasts the creator, Rebecca Sugar, for the main character Steven, typically redeeming other characters.
Not gonna lie, Yellow Diamond, Blue Diamond, and Connie's mom are the best made characters in the show. My favorite character was Peridot. I don't know why. I really liked Peridot.
Actually, ironically,
Garnet was a good second for me too. I really liked Garnet. Who?
Lapis.
Oh yeah, you did like Lapis a whole bunch.
I really liked Lapis.
I wanted so bad to see a fusion between Lapis and Peridot, and I don't think it ever happened.
It probably would have happened if the story continued being good.
Probably.
Characters. Some that Lily considers genocidal, which is not exactly the case, but that lends more into the complexities of the show. The issue with Lily is that in her own...
No, they were absolutely a genocidal race. They went 2 worlds, completely harvested all of their natural resources, and destroyed them.
Husks.
They were horrible, horrible genocidal psychopaths. Literally a cancer to this entire galaxy.
Was a rebellion popping up, and their goal was to wipe them out of the face of the planet.
Yeah, so the whole redemption arc for White Diamond I thought was fucking stupid.
And there were so many cool fan theories.
Right? That's the problem. For future reference, Brandon, when we go to enjoy a piece of media, whether that's video games, or movies or comics or books. I just need to stop looking at theories and that sort of stuff.
Because half the time they're better.
Because they're always better. Like, Tears of the Kingdom is a phenomenal example of that.
Tears of the Kingdom is a phenomenal. I mean, our theories were better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just need to not watch trailers, not watch anybody's, like, fucking trailer breakdown videos or anything like that ever again.
I'm gonna give you guys a bit of advice because I have it where I never get spoiled on anything unless he shows me something. Because the way I do my YouTube is I don't watch anything that even remotely shows anything. So I never get spoiled on anything. But I also don't know about anything coming out. It's a pro and a con. What anime reference and references? Was there anime reference? Oh, there are.
And it was not
Oh, yeah.
just in this writing that Lily did this.
If you go through pretty much every other one of her fanfics, that's a common thing with her main characters. They're always genocidal maniacs written to be sympathetic. From Lord Ryder, from her original.
You know, I don't think, that isn't a horrible concept initially. Like, Thanos is the first example that I can think of that was written very well. Like,
so here's my thing. The thing with Thanos is he had at least a good reason. And through his journey, he even has proof that his thing does work. Not only on Earth do they see that the resources are actually way more abundant now, but on Gamora's home planet, he talks about how it is now a paradise because they don't have to suffer through the overpopulation. So his thing does work.
But it's still...
It's just so immoral and evil to do.
Right.
That's why he is a good villain.
Mm-hmm. So, to have a character like that, a genocidal maniac who is also sympathetic, Thanos is a very good example of that.
But Thanos
if it's
could never be redeemed.
Correct. That's what I was going to get at. There's no redeeming somebody who does something like that. You can't. You cannot redeem that.
Family Guy fan fictions to Essentia to Aliana in her Star Wars fix. Like, it's always a genocidal maniac written to be sympathetic.
Lily was having a terrible year. In October, she said she was a victim to a terrible crime.
I know what that says. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, because he left the first letter.
Yeah. See? June.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying, man. Unless it's also possible that somebody else has already, like, centered these and he's just getting the screenshots with the edited shit. That's possible too.
Might be.
But if he did edit those, there you go, man. That's what I'm asking. Give me the first letter and the last letter so that I can at least fill in the blanks for myself.
And then in December, she announced that Lizzie and her had broken up. A breakup that seemingly came out of nowhere. And then Lily stated that Lizzie had swatted her, and this was her third swatting. But as Lily was further questioned, it became more likely that these were just well-missed checks.
What? Oh shit, oof. I don't know what you're reacting to, man. Lily hates anime, anime fans, anime studios, and shows inspired by anime, and what she says about country of Japan would make the white supremacist blush. That's crazy.
Dude, I love anime, so I guess Lily hates me.
See, this is something that me and Brandon disagree. I don't like anime. I really don't. I don't like... There's a lot of tropes in anime that just kind of get grating on my nerves, and... the overreactions and like screaming. I
understand that.
Yeah, and it's fine. But at the same time, there have been animes that I've watched that I fucking loved. Like Soul Eater, I loved Soul Eater, and it's full of the over ridiculous reactions and shit. I liked it though. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was also very, very good. We watched... I know there's others.
Line barrels.
Fucking line barrels. I mean, I've watched anime, but it's just not my favorite media.
I keep up to date on animes. I don't watch all the animes or even the most popular animes, but I like watching anime.
Demon Slayer was also pretty good.
I didn't watch that one.
Really? You would like it. You should watch it.
Nope.
The following day...
Why? I want to hear your reasoning.
I'm not giving a reason.
This is the discussion hall. This is what we do. Let's hear it. Why do you not want to watch it?
Discussing my anime.
Come on,
references.
Brandon. Brandon, come on. I want to hear it. What's your reason?
You could try to peer pressure me all you want. I'm not gonna say.
We're waiting, Brandon.
Lily made it clear that Lizzie
I'll quit
was
picking on you now.
Person, and makes it clear that she was not abused by her. And so Lily stated she had a lonely Christmas. Britt, now in January of 2019, possibly seeing the state of Lily, was trying to amend things, but Lily was not.
Brittany, run away, dude.
With Josh Scorcher, her falling out with Patchwork, the criticisms around the Steven Universe.
I still don't even know who Patchwork is.
That kicked 2019 off.
Patchwork was one of the people that was involved with the Toon Critics.
Yes, but I
pedophilia
don't
case.
know who they are. Like
They're all part of a. They're probably all part of a My Little Pony group.
Around the Steven Universe video. All influences that kicked 2019 off with Lily spouting pure vitriol. The way this was different was that she was not exactly campaigning against any individual person, but rather sporadically attacking virtually everyone. From her parents, her sister, a creator that lightly criticized her. Things were even going further south with Lizzie. As Lily was stating, they were no longer on.
So who are we talking about here? Lizzie? Yes. So what
Lizzie,
happened?
her girlfriend.
Wife. There were a handful. Did they actually get married? No, they didn't.
No.
No. Because he
No.
absolutely 100% that said that Lizzie Orchard and Lily Pete never did. I may have just had a stroke. I don't know what the fuck just happened. But Lily Pete and Lizzie Orchard never got married. She just adopted Orchard as her surname. Patchwork was somebody Lily manipulated. Well, I mean, I kind of got that. I just don't know who that person is in context with the rest of the story. Because again, we're on, like Brandon said, we're on season 2, and we have a whole new cast of characters to deal with. And I haven't got to know them yet.
Speaking terms, this year for Lily was pure chaos. Not only was she
Self-inflicted pure chaos.
but also her sexual deviancy had also taken a new form. What started as posting images and poses as per fans' requests turned into images of her posting her bare breasts. Even her claims were getting wilder. She called a different controversial cartoon reviewer a fascist, stated that people that dislike Antifa are Nazis, called Rebecca Sugar an accidental Nazi apologist, and then stated in response to her flagrant attacks that fascism is the core of being a conservative, and then ties it all back to Steven Universe and Rebecca Sugar. While Lily's attacks were ineffective due to her overall lack of evidence for her claims and her overall lack of credibility.
This is just somebody that's just throwing out fucking words, man, and has no idea what they mean. Like, obviously, this person is... They think they're smarter than they are. That's also typical of narcissism.
There was one attack that shook the hornet's nest. Though Patchwork and Lily were not on good terms, Lily calling Patchwork, quote, a dishonest, drug-addicted nutcase.
Okay, so I'm going to read this whole section because I'm tired of missing context to what's going on. So, wow! I knew Patch was a disgusting, drug-addicted nutcase, but holy shit, that is a whole new level of disgusting. Just dismissing other people's comfort because you are so wrapped in delusion about a slur being part of the LGBT culture that you invoke me just to have an... That you invoke me just to have an excuse to be a complete cunt to somebody. Wow, I legit regret ever raising any money for that cow. Yikes. You invoke me. Good God. Lily has so much pride. I mean, we've already established that with the whole Jack Scorcher situation. How many years after that are we still, and this moron is still posting shit about Jack Scorcher because Jack was like, no, I think you're a bad person. I don't want to be involved with you anymore.
Zero Gold. Are you saying, is Lily still, like, on the internet?
I don't know. That's something we'll find out at the end of this video, I think.
Well, that's kind of what he's implying, right?
FYI, it has been 2 weeks since Lily has flashed an audience on one of her live streams.
Response,
Does she stream on Kick too? Come on, I think that was pretty funny.
I might be a drug-addicted delusional schizo, but at the very least, I didn't pressure someone to draw my wife's favorite OC having incestuous dog sex. Unquote. Looking at Patchwork's DeviantArt, she states that she does.
I don't do. What the fuck is Guro? I don't. I'm not Googling it.
No, I don't.
Okay, so Vor, Scat, Water Sports, Lolicon, Shotacon. I don't know what Shotacon is. Cub Porn. I can kind of fill the blanks in there. Still don't know what Clop is, Dubcon, and we've figured out what Fullcon is, but I don't know what Dubcon is. I don't know what Clop is. I don't know what Cub Porn is, and I don't know
That's
what
unfortunate.
Guro is.
Usually the villains lose. This is another thing where the villain still wins.
Guro is Gore. So why not just fucking write Gore?
Doesn't do that kind of art. But Lily was an exception because it was, as Patchwork claims Lily told her, quote,
also, thank you, man.
Thing that alleviates her dysphoria, unquote. And though these very, quote,
Lily didn't blackmail my
I'll read this one.
Okay.
Lily didn't blackmail my financial situation to get me to draw rape and bestiality porn. No, instead she would guilt trip me about how it was the only thing that alleviates her dysphoria, along with the encouraging me to send her erotic anons on Tumblr.
Okay, so I am pretty comfortable in saying now that Joon has not been censoring all those words in the rest of the video, because here he's got a screenshot that has that word right there without being censored. So I'm guessing that he probably got those already censored. Which, okay, fine. Sorry, Joon.
The only thing that alleviates.
Oh, wait. You won't fucking believe this, but people are trying to make the claim that you blackmailed Patch's financial situation to get them to do art for you.
Dysphoria, unquote. And though these various drawings of a dog and Lily cannot be shown, they very much exist and are unfortunately detailed. Lily responded to her commissioning these images with a long-winded non-answer.
All right, hold on.
Lily
Not bothered about your commissioning of lewds from Patch, and I don't know why she's including that as part of her little tantrum besides getting all sex negative, kinky shamey and shit. I am kind of curious as to what turned you off liking animal stuff. Because it's fucking gross and weird, bro. And not okay. Poor animals. Don't abuse animals. I fucking love animals.
I do too.
How many cats do we have in this house right now? Three cats and 2 dogs? I love my pets. I love them very much. Particularly because I've seen you take a hard line against it, which is, again, not a problem or fault, though it could be the obvious consent issues, or just Patch lying.
I'll read this.
Nah, you get to be Jerry or whoa.
Okay, when does this end? Okay, right there. First of all, second of all, the stuff I bought from Patch was pretty bog standard. Lewd the puppet things. Patch did draw things more extreme than that because we would talk about kinks from time to time, but I always kind of iffy on them. Patch never actually had an issue with any of the drawings on they did of the puppet until it could be used as a pity party. Patch will generally attack anything about a person they previously spoke out against because their values are a load of crap and they are an opportunist. They'll talk about how important Tumblr porn is for sex workers and then assault someone for being a sex worker when that person is someone they dislike because they don't actually care about sex workers. They were just a convenient scapegoat for wanting Tumblr to keep the porn they liked. Patch only talks about feeling manipulated because they have to flip the script in order and then
Liking animals the normal way is fine. Hold on.
Are we getting animals?
Yeah. Okay. Look. There she is, man. Best puppy in the whole world, dude. Ignore my messy ass office. I'm in the middle of cleaning shit. Yeah, I love dogs. She's out there eating and making horrible noises, but,
between
you know.
what these drawings
Whoa, Brandon, where the hell did you go? Hold on, guys. I had to make sure my dog wasn't choking, bro. She was making awful noises. Holy neck, beard, nest, Batman! Yeah, it's I mean, it's not like the worst mess in the world. It looks messy because I've got this fucking table over here from when me and Darcy were down here watching shit. And then, you know, I got this pillow on the floor that fell off the couch, and then there's like a dog toy there, and like a tissue box, and like a switch that fell off that stand. Yeah, it's a little messy. It's a little messy.
detail and what Tara Kelly states she did to others. Besides the
This is my
motivation for
kitty.
this kind of imagery, there was also another reason why Lily requested this art.
And the reason she had those commissioned was to get back at Lizzie. Like, that's Lizzie's character that she took after they broke up.
Lily had already found a new partner, an artist that started a webcomic with Lily. Lily, the main character of this comic, is drawn with a girlfriend Michaela, and as the name Pokey Madhouse suggests, it takes place in the
No! No! They're gonna be assaulting the Gardevoirs, Brandon!
has only ever been
There's no law against the Pokemon, Batman.
comic, and it is this Gardevoir named G.
I was joking! I was kidding! I didn't think she'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do Gardevoir again. Like, I thought maybe it would be an original idea, at least.
Into the comic
Not the Pokemon.
This is not a love
Save the
that would be found in
Pokemon.
and not a love that would be found in family. This is a love of a sexual nature.
Of course it is. Because Lily Rose cannot be involved in anything creative that doesn't involve getting fucked by something. Like, oh my god. It's so boring and so unoriginal and lazy.
But they still obtain a child through a lab experiment that resulted in a human and Gardevoir hybrid. The Gardevoir also tells Lily that she made a quote-unquote love bond with Lily in her sleep to extend her lifespan.
Pokey Madhouse is going to drive you to drink. That would be a feat, because I hate drinking.
Lily's character doesn't initially react well to what amounts to getting
I really just don't enjoy it.
but Lily still essentially forgives the Gardevoir. This comic would go on for quite some time, used, like her other works, to express her desires, whether they are of a sexual nature or revenge. It is not a coincidence that there is a strip where one of Lily's exes, with the trademark purple hair that Lizzie has, is villainized as an awful woman who broke Lily's heart one Christmas season. This is because Lily went from referencing Lily as a wonderful person to a terrible abuser. In response to someone asking Lily how she could move on so fast from Lizzie, Lily stated, quote, "Bitch, have you met her?"
Like, this would be such a difficult person to be around, because you would never, ever know what to believe. On one hand, you've got her saying, oh, Lizzie's the most incredible person I've ever known in my entire life. Greatest partner I could ever hope to have. And then in the same breath, she's like, this fucking bitch. Bitch, have you met her? It's like, dude, how do you expect anybody around you to have any kind of idea of what you are to them or what they are to you? It just sounds like an exhausting existence for everybody around you, too.
Oh, I agree.
What escalated Lily's hatred of Lizzie was Lizzie in September showing concern on her Tumblr of Lily.
I would have a headache all the time. Same.
Quote, "I know she's probably fine and that it isn't any of my business to be worried. It just popped into my head." Unquote. Lily responded to this information with, quote, "Lizzie came a lot closer to killing me than a hurricane ever could have multiple times. Don't know why she pretends to give a shit, TBH." Unquote.
Okay, so how does she actually do so? I want to know.
Yes. Receipts.
That ship sailed after she
sicked the
police on me. Spell check, man. You gotta learn to use it. I know you hate it, but it would make you look less like a moron. I was home and ended up assaulted and groped. A fucking hurricane is a cakewalk compared to that. The hurricane was fun compared to that. A year out, and this woman is still pissing me off.
Ow.
Lily has found her new target.
She clawing you?
After Lizzie
No, I
deleted
just
her
got like a
Tumblr
pain in my
through the
toe.
harassment of Lily, someone
We're
immediately
old,
screwed
Brandon.
up her URL and changed the header to the word opens. Here they made a post that stated, quote, "Hi, can I get a fucking abuser?" Anyways, 1, the Woody Collective is live, and well, 2, my main is at the new Fox Borough, and 3, if you want your URL back, message me on there, unquote. Lily, after being informed that her fans ran Lizzie off of Tumblr, stated, quote,
Your fans ran Lizzie off the Tumblr. Correction, Lizzie ran herself off Tumblr after chatting shit and being unable to handle the backlash. Everything was fine for her until she decided to call me, talking about her abuse, public villainization, and no doubt she was met with a hailstorm of criticism. If you can't handle being dragged for saying stupid shit, don't say stupid shit.
correction. Lizzie ran herself off Tumblr after
No, June's gonna read it.
and
Okay,
being
good.
unable to handle the backlash. Everything was fine for
Oh, he's
her
gonna read the whole
until she decided to
thing.
call me talking about her
He usually
quote-unquote
doesn't.
public
that's why we've been stopping and
no doubt
reading them.
was met with a hailstorm of criticism. If you can't handle being dragged for saying stupid shit, don't say stupid shit. Unquote.
I feel no sympathy for her ass. Good riddance. Now the mobile app will stop showing her as a recommendation when I view your blog.
This tension
I like it.
did die down for a few months, and Lizzie did mention at the end of the year that this year many people decided to hate her. As for Lily, at the start of 2020, she announced her engagement with Michaela, and would from time to time respond to questions about Lizzie. But her ire for a period was instead set on heterosexual people, calling them filthy.
Wait, what?
For a period was instead
There aren't.
Hold
they
on,
aren't
I'm trying to read
comparable
the-
because filthy.
A homophobic
Huh?
person saying we don't condone homosexuality. Both of those kinds of behaviors are horrible, but if that's what you are okay with, more power to you. Okay, now you can read the response.
They aren't comparable because filthy heteros get to enjoy being seen as the default and have tons of representation and normalization in the media. Come back when straight teenagers are being sent to conversion therapy by their parents, and then maybe I'll take you seriously.
set on heterosexual people, calling them filthy.
Yeah, that's kind of my response
yeah.
too, oof.
And then 2 months
I'm a dirty goblin?
Apparently.
Why am I a dirty goblin, Brandon? I'll make you a deal. You normalize gay, bi, pan, trans, poly individuals and their stories and tear down compulsive heteronormativity?
Heteronormativity.
That's a word. Of our modern culture, and I will stop saying straight people are dirty goblins. So this is almost like a reverse, it's not racism thing, but it's, what's the word I'm looking for? A reverse bigoted thing? Like, I don't really know.
It's just bigoted.
That's fair.
Lily is on record in a video saying that all heterosexual relationships end in abuse.
That's because Lily has never been in a successful relationship.
later, Lily once again.
Sucky boy. It's Kirby. I love Kirby. I don't think people ever fully recover from abuse. It's something that sticks with them and influences their personality. This is true. Being with Lizzie caused me to develop anxiety and insecurity issues I previously didn't have, and those don't go away that easily. It's like scar tissue. If it's deep enough, then it starts to interfere with whatever it's formed on. Recovery is a relative concept because while it's healed, it'll never really be the same again. I will never be the same again, and it's like when my parents abused me, I'm going to be dealing with that for the rest of my life.
Honed in on
I mean,
quote,
yes, this is a pretty true statement. Like, trauma that you experience in your life will inevitably shape you as a person and change you as a person.
Trauma works,
like,
though.
Yeah, that's just the nature of trauma. You come out a different person on the other side. And it's not always necessarily a bad thing, and it's also not always necessarily a good thing. It's just a thing. It's just you change. You are a different person than you were.
being with Lizzie caused me to develop anxiety and insecurity issues I previously didn't have. And those
So in the case of Sucky Boy here, it went in the negative direction.
I think that was Lily there.
Was that Lily?
I think so.
I fucking hate the way this
sounds like
website is
Lily.
laid out. I just want to say that right now. I detest the way this website is laid out. Because any other normal website, you look at this and you would say Sucky Boy is saying what's here. But no, it's actually completely backwards, and Sucky Boy is saying what's above that we can't see. I fucking hate this shit.
I previously didn't have, and those don't go away that
It's
easily.
like, it's different from every other website. Why?
Even a year after the breakup.
Is that Reddit?
Practically the
Tumblr,
first
maybe?
thing she did when she got back on Twitter.
Twitter? It was Tumblr, I
Amanda
think.
would make a string of her 100 most infamous tips. On November
I mean, there you go. I never got into Tumblr, so.
14th, 2020,
Same.
Lily started a thread of tweets titled Simple Writing Tips, a thread.
You're gonna give writing advice? That's hilarious.
As you can see by the ratio here. Well, not
Titled Simple Writing Tips, a thread.
yeah, it wasn't received well. Not really. As you can see by the ratio here. 1,000 quote tweets.
This poorly received writing tips thread.
Okay. So, Brandon, take number 2, I'll take number 1. Number 1! Don't worry about spoilers. If your story is good, spoilers aren't going to make it any less enjoyable. You're wrong. If spoilers make a story less enjoyable, that just means you were relying on cheap shock value as a shortcut. You're wrong.
You're very
It's not
wrong on
about
that.
cheap shock value. It's about not knowing where the story is going and anticipating the turns and the changes and the surprises. And I mean, if you know every single story beat of a story, what's the fucking point of going through it? Idiot. Go ahead, Brandon.
The middle point of a story is the best time to get the main couple together. Are you working on on a 5-season show? Put your main couple together halfway through season 3. The finale is the worst time because we don't get any time to enjoy the payoff. Not true at all.
Not true at all. You also don't need to have fucking couples in every story.
Well, I'm assuming this is if you're doing a romance show, and here's
Except my issue with that is it is labeled as simple writing tips. It's not how to write romance, it's simple writing tips, so it's a generalization.
No one who thinks that Mary Sues are a good thing should be giving writing tips.
Agreed. Friends to lovers is better than enemies to lovers every time. Not true.
Not true.
Look at the movie You've Got Mail with fucking Tom Hanks, dude. That is a good example of two characters that were enemies who find each other, and it's a great story. It's super, super good. You want number 4?
Number 4. Victims of abuse moving away from negative impacts of their abuse, i.e. Zuko, and becoming healthier are not redemption arcs. They are 100% redemption arcs. Zuko, as a character, was filled with hatred and pride, the pride of the Fire Nation, hatred towards the Avatar, and his constant hunt for the Avatar to prove himself worthy, redeems himself by slowly teaching the Avatar firebending and standing up to his father, and inevitably leading to the end of the Fire Nation reign.
Yeah, dude, Zuko has one of the most phenomenal arcs in any story I've ever watched, read, listened to, doesn't matter. I mean, he would be the example I would give somebody as a good redemption arc. The writing in that show is top tier. It is fucking good.
Writing advice as Lily.
Number 5, heroes refusing to kill villains who have shown to be actively trying to murder people isn't noble, it's enabling. I sort of agree with this one. I do think that Batman should have put a bullet in the Joker's head fucking years ago, but
here's what I was going to bring up. In one of the newest comics for DC, Amanda Waller is the main threat, and I'm like, dude, just end her life. Amanda Waller is a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I mean, there are situations and scenarios where I agree with that statement.
But for the most part, not really. Anyways, number 6. 2 women kissing in the last episode of a show after 4 to 5 seasons of trying to murder each other isn't revolutionary. It's fetishized abuse and violence.
That's an oddly specific fucking thing to put in there.
What was she specifically talking about?
Yeah, she's obviously talking about a specific show, and I wonder what show it is.
Trying to frame it as.
Gold, do you know?
Yeah, Gold seems to be on point with the information about Lily. Twitter is...
Dude, Magneto has another good redemption arc.
Yeah, I love Magneto. You know what's funny is comic book Magneto is not my favorite version of Magneto. Do you know what my favorite version of Magneto is? The X-Men movies Magneto I love that guy. What is the actor's name?
Dude, I'm terrible with names.
It's like something McMillan or something like that, I think. I don't know. He's phenomenal as Magneto. I also really liked the X-Men movie where they went in the past and they were dealing with the fucking Sebastian
Apocalypse.
Shaw guy. Not Apocalypse. That movie sucked. It was the one that came before that. It was like, I can't remember the name of it. That's gonna drive me crazy.
Talking about the 28th She-Ra series. Oh, that show's awesome.
Brandon loves that show, dude. Twitter is not an appropriate place to reveal story details. The appropriate place is in the work itself. I mean, you can absolutely use Twitter as a place to drop little story beats and be like, haha, look what you could see. This is in my story. You want to come read it? Use it as an advertising thing, so I don't agree with that either.
Was a thread of her.
Well, do you want me to read 8?
X-Men First Class. God damn, dude, you were on fucking point. Thank you. That is the movie I was talking about. I love Magneto in that movie,
When a character's body
too.
count is over 10,000 innocent lives, then that character is no longer redeemable.
But you write characters all the time that are like that.
That have higher death goals than that. Also, just a quick thing on She-Ra, because I need to say this. I think you have to understand the relationship and the mentality of Catra and Adora to really understand the relationship.
Yeah, because good writing, Brandon.
Yes.
Lily doesn't. So, by the way, guys, I know we're pausing this a whole bunch. We are going to jump back so we can hear what Joon is actually saying here, but I want to read all of these. Tip 8 does not apply to characters for whom making them the villain was a stupid, idiotic idea, i.e.
I already read that one.
Oh, did you?
Oh, no, you're on 9. Never mind.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Sylvanas Windrunner? I don't know who that is. At that point, it's just character re-railment. I think that's like a very specific fucking thing, and you're talking about clearly something in very particular.
Criticisms of the.
Hey, step 10 was positive. Okay. Step 10. Everything in a story is there because the creator wished it to be there. True. Trying to explain away bigoted story decisions using world building is a fallacy because but if you want a accurate, if I'm making a fantasy story or a middle-aged story, women are going to be seen as like a trophy kind of thing just because that's how it was in the past. And so therefore it'd be more historically accurate to do that rather than a free society.
I'll bring up Stephen King as a good example. He uses a lot of really heavily racist people in his books, but that's because there are really heavily racist people in the world. It adds validity to your world. It makes it more believable. For the record, if Batman is so unstable that if he kills someone, even if it's Joker, Batman would either become Jason Voorhees or takes his life.
Well, the thing about Batman is that he knows he can cross the line. It's too easy to cross that line, and crossing that line is a thing you can never undo. And each death you do makes it easier and easier. Which is why he never takes a life.
Except he does eventually.
He
does kill the Joker.
He kills the Joker.
My absolute favorite is the Dark Knight. When he,
I don't know.
He gets a hold of him.
He snaps the Joker's neck in the
That's the Dark Knight, bro.
Injustice. No, it's there's a different one. It's in the Injustice, but instead of Lois dying, they actually managed to prevent it. And Joker talks about going after Superman again after the baby's born, and so Batman just in the car snaps Joker's neck and goes and turns himself in. And when,
I do remember that. That's a very good, because he's like, I killed somebody, so I have to go to jail now.
Yeah, and Superman literally walks through the fucking barrier to give Batman a hug.
Yeah, because he knows.
Yeah, that's a
because,
really nice one.
dude, I completely side tangent. Sorry, but I love the dynamic between Superman and Batman. They are my favorite bromance ever. I love those guys.
They're the best super duo ever.
But yeah, so this whole fucking, so people putting that kind of things in their stories is creating a more believable world, is what I'm getting at. Because there are people like that exist.
Very limited children's
Number 11 and 12 are basically the same shit.
I mean, like, here's the thing. What does she mean by pair? Because, like, Last of Us, the one guy's paired with that younger lady.
But it's more of a father-daughter dynamic between them two.
Yeah, but it's not. But
she's saying,
what does pair
obviously,
mean?
Brandon, she's saying don't have them laying in bed together
in a
naked.
Sexual context?
Yes.
Then yes, that's true.
Yeah, but see, it's contradictory because this idiot does this shit. And it's including number 12.
It's basically the exact same thing.
Media she consumes.
Don't make up weird anime excuses for sexualizing teenage characters. Actually, 1,000. Fusion age of consent is X and country is serial 10. Yeah, I agree with that too. But again, you do these things.
Attempted to be
making. Oh, sorry.
Making a metaphor for gay trans ace? That's a new one.
Hey, Gold.
Rep is always inherently inferior to just making a gay trans ace character. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Making a metaphor for gay trans ace representation is always inherently inferior to just making. But what?
Oh, that's why I wouldn't know that character. I've never played Warcraft, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason I never played it is because I never had a computer that was capable of running it.
And now it's subscription based, so.
Mm-hmm. If there are humans in your story, we're gonna skip it because it makes no fucking sense. If there are humans in your story, restricting gay, trans, ace representation to the non-human characters makes you a huge turd.
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what does ace mean? Gold, you seem to be like our
go-to encyclopedia of information.
Our Tower of Babel here, so.
If the only gay man in your work is
fine.
a foppish diva, you're a huge turd. Why? There are gay people that are like that. Am I not allowed to write a character that is based off of somebody that's like that? Why is that not okay?
If the only lesbian in your work is an abusive rageaholic with vague angst issues and codependent relationship to a protagonist, you're a huge turd.
Oh, so what you're saying, Gold, is that basically she doesn't like those things. Ace means asexual.
Asexual.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But
so
basically,
she doesn't like something, so therefore it's bad.
Basically what's happening here is Lily is not good enough to write metaphors or subtext in stories, therefore they're bad. That's why she doesn't like them. Yeah, you can get the next one.
If your only non-binary character.
What happened?
Attempted to be
that was the end.
Over the entire
No, it's 18. Okay, stop it. If your only non-binary character is non-human shapeshifter, you're a huge turd.
Your only non-binary character is a non-human shapeshifter. Why is that not okay? So what if I don't have any non-binary characters in my story? Does that make me a huge turd too? You started off with like stuff that was kind of writing themed, and now you're just putting shit down that you do.
Okay, do you want to go back so we can hear?
Yeah. Poorly received writing tips thread was not a thread of general writing advice, as Lily was trying to frame it as. It was a thread of her very specific criticisms of the very limited children's media she consumes, attempted to be blanketed over the entire craft of writing.
The answer to your question, Oof, is whatever Lily wants to write is correct. Everything else is wrong.
Until it's criticized, and then somebody else actually put that in the story, and she didn't write that part of it. 13, don't make up weird. Okay.
The real purpose of this list to be like, these are the shows I've disliked in the past 5 years. This is exactly.
Correction, Lily can't understand or pick up on metaphors or subtext in stories. That's why she hates it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She can't. Yeah, you're right. She probably can't pick it up, and she can't write it either.
Exactly what I talk about in reviews these days.
Movies owned by Disney.
Holy shit, there were 84 of these?
Sex scenes are never necessary. You want to include one because you're horny, then more power to you. But any attempt to justify it as important to the story will only get you laughed at.
Not true. There are definitely sex scenes in stories that make a lot of sense and are perfectly fine in the context of the story. Then there are also sex scenes in stories that don't belong.
Dude,
I completely agree. I think there's some times where the sex scene makes sense in the story, and other times where it's just like, holy shit, why the fuck is this in here? It's just, it has to be a proper writing.
Yes, Oof, you have figured it out, my guy. 100%. Yeah. Lily made 100.
100 writing tips.
Yo, can we find this list?
I can't even fathom.
Can I find this list? I don't want to go through all 100, but I think it'd be hilarious.
100 of those.
Brandon, oh my god, do you know what we should do? We should make a really dramatic video reading all of these with like super dramatic lighting and like really like heavy dark strings. I think it'd be funny.
I found it.
Huh? You found it?
Apparently Zero Gold found it.
As did I.
100.
We might actually do that, guys. That's something you guys are interested in seeing us do. And we'll do it completely deadpan too. I won't laugh, I won't smile, and we'll make it as serious as possible to make it as funny as possible. I made a drinking game about Lily's writing tips list.
Every time we disagree, we take a shot.
So not to get into politics, but me and Darcy, back in like 2017 or whatever, when Trump was first running for president, he was giving a speech. We were watching it on TV, and I told her every time he says tremendous, or was it tremendous? Or it might have been incredible, actually. Every time he said incredible, we took a shot of vodka. We were fucking hammered by the end of that. It was bad. I got real sick.
Talk about in reviews these days.
She has too much time.
And the old video.
That's the answer.
Too much. I agree.
This is this person's only frame of reference.
I'm tempted to call projection at a certain point.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I think this is someone who is just kind
that
of a slut shamer.
Guy's voice sounds really familiar.
Or at the very least, a sex shamer.
Those clips were from a video that has garnered over 1 million views of two writers going over Lily's 100 writing tips. And as the...
Oh my god, we have to do a reaction to that video, Brandon.
That's what I was just thinking. Instead of reading the tips like that, we just...
Oh.
I would love to hear two professional writers actually talk about it.
I agree. So let's see. Two professional... I'm gonna go... It's one of the first things that pops up. This video is 2 hours long.
Hi, everybody.
Incoming future discussion hall? Huh? Huh?
We're done with one 2.5 hour one. Time to do another one.
I will go ahead and add this to my watch later, though. How do I do that? They've moved it. Save. Watch later. There we go. Got that saved.
Rules of drinking game. Every time Lily contradicts herself, treat her opinion as fact or says something bigoted, take a shot. Dude, I'd be hammered on like the first 3.
Literally within the first... How many times did we pause in the first 3 minutes of this video, Brandon? I think we got to like the 20-minute mark of the live stream, and we were only like 10 minutes in.
100 writing tips. And as they find out, some of the advice isn't even about writing.
Just block them. Don't argue with them. Don't debate them. Don't treat them with good faith. Just block them and get on with your day. Not writing advice.
That's just Twitter advice! Oh my god! How can... Twitter is not a good place to talk about your stories.
The individual 100 tweets are both analyzed in this video, and at the very end, categorized, where about 1/3 of them are not considered to be writing advice.
We can do both. We can do the discussion hall, and we can read them in a serious, like, edited video. I think we're gonna do this. I found the battery for the really nice camera, dude. So I can get that shit working again, and I can get that set up. I need to get this one swapped out and get back to using that one.
Lily's tips had received so much ridicule that by December, the entire thread was gone. And possibly correlated to this new wave of negative attention, Lily turned her Tumblr asks off. For a while, Lily's Tumblr asks, particularly the ones that come from an anonymous source, are thought to be Lily asking herself questions in order to convey her thoughts on a matter without appearing to be unprovoked.
I could fucking absolutely see that being the case.
That is hilarious.
Not something that I thought, like it wasn't something that I ever was like, oh, I bet that's
something
happening.
I was actually thinking, but now that I'm like thinking about it,
it's so fucking likely.
It's so obvious.
Lizzie or anyone else she despises. And for that reason, the asks would take no time at all to come back. On December 7th, now 2 years since the breakup, Lizzie tweeted out, quote, "I've decided to try speaking openly about my history with my abusive ex. I've tried to maintain a respectful silence for 2 years now, to let us both move on with our lives. But in turn, she's used that to spread disparaging comments and outright lies about me." Unquote. This tweet chain was Lizzie stating that she was going to speak her truth when it feels appropriate. Lily was...
Okay, so Sucky Boy is asking this question here. Just curious, if
Yeah,
things
Sucky
with your
Boy-
ex were so bad, why didn't you get out sooner?
asks back on, responding to a question.
The benefit of hindsight in therapy is that you can see everything all at once and form a much clearer picture. In therapy, there is a lot of speculation involved, especially with somebody as tight-lipped as my ex. The perception that the breakup was about scaring me into line. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. I can't be 100% certain of that because it's educated guess based on the contradiction of breaking up with someone and then being upset about being replaced when they hooked up with someone for rebound sex 2 months later. I've never understood that in relationships. Like, if you leave somebody and then you go, like, a month later, you're dating somebody else and they get pissed off that you're dating somebody else. You broke up. It's over. What the fuck are you mad about? Move on.
Remember, Want You Back?
Yeah. It's a good example. You want to take the next
That's what
section?
I think. Yeah, sure. People forget that there was a 2-month period where we were trying to work out our differences and be friends, which I eventually gave up on when I no longer felt safe talking to her. The abuse itself wasn't big dramatic events. It was a lot of little things spread out over 3 years, a lot of consistent behavior that can really be really difficult to make sense of in the moment. Death by 1,000 cuts. I've always described that relationship as a slow and systematic destruction of my very self-worth. I have something to say after this, and that's not an exaggeration. I didn't like who I was when I was with her, and I didn't like the scarred, frightened, twitchy woman I became. I didn't like the woman who spent way too much time wondering what was going on in her girlfriend's head. I didn't like the woman who sacrificed core parts of her very identity to placate this one person who never once reciprocated or even appreciated that sacrifice. I didn't like the women who tried
oh my
damn
god, the
hard to make a
fucking
relationship
self-pity
work
here is unreal.
when it was clear that her girlfriend would, and I can't get to the rest. So, have you noticed a pattern here?
Depends on what you're referring to as a pattern.
Every single one of the people that Lily has even come into contact with has been abusive to Lily in Lily's fiction.
Yes, this is definitely the case. But what are you getting at here?
This is what we call projecting.
Yeah.
Make sense of it in the moment. Death by 1,000 cuts. I've always described that relationship as, quote, a slow and systemic destruction of my very self-work, unquote.
Systemic? That's systematic.
Yeah, it's definitely systematic.
And that's not an exaggeration, unquote. Lizzie's twitlonger was more descriptive in how Lily had wronged her. She opens with talking about how they had a mostly long-distance relationship and therefore digital relationship. Lily was always...
CW, abuse, coercion. That is coercion, right?
Coercion.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually seen that word written out. It's spelled fucking different than I expected, that's for sure. Let me tell you a story about one of the many things that made my relationship with my ex abusive. Here's some context to start. I'm sure you'll start to see how they connect. First, our relationship was long distance, and like most long distance relationships, that meant our intimate time was largely digital. So did they ever actually meet in person?
I assume, because it's largely, which implies...
Yeah, I guess. Second, as an artist, I like to draw things for her a lot, which usually doodles of her OCs or illustrations of inside jokes and the like. Third, my ex often liked to test the waters when it came to my boundaries. Her exact phrase for this was nudging the walls to see if they were still standing. Revisiting a line I had already drawn was almost expected. Why would you want to be like this?
Matthew, normal people can't comprehend crazy.
And fourth, I was not very good at enforcing my boundaries at the time, so those walls typically crumbled pretty easily, whether I had changed my mind on the matter or not. Again, I know you just pointed this out, but this is almost word for word what Brittany was describing was going on with her.
Mm-hmm. What all this adds up to is that for a time I was drawing a lot of suggestive artwork for her, usually of the two of us, sometimes just of me, digital nudes, hand-drawn sex tapes, and maybe this wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't absolutely hated every second of it, and she knew that. Those drawings made me feel so sick and embarrassed. After a session, my hands felt dirty, my drawing tablet tainted, and I can't read the rest.
I was cold. I couldn't draw my usual art afterwards without at least a day's break. I finished them as fast as possible.
Testing and then pushing boundaries. A large point of contention.
And after I sent it, I immediately deleted the file from my computer and hoped no one would see it on hers. Every time I finished one, I'd hope that be the last for the night, that she would think of another hot idea. I believe.
I tried to tell her.
I know that this, again, we're sitting here and it's he said, she said shit again, and I hate that stuff, but there's a pattern. So I believe what Lizzie is saying here.
So, and this is more detailed than what?
And more believable. It's just more believable, too. It's just more realistic.
Oh, I tried to tell her I was uncomfortable, and sometimes she appeared to listen, but that's where the guilt and subtle pressure would come in. She knew
Typical
the way
narcissism.
To ask me to that felt weird to refuse because of reasons private to her that I won't discuss here. It also felt beneficial to her mental health to do them. Like I was making her feel... I can't read the rest then.
I was drawing a lot of suggestive artwork for her, usually of the two of us, sometimes of just me. Digital nudes, hand-drawn sex tapes, and maybe this wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't absolutely hated every second of it. And she knew that. I tried to tell her I was uncomfortable, and sometimes she appeared to listen, but that's where the guilt and subtle pressure would come in. She knew the ways to ask me that felt weird to refuse, because of the reasons private to her
Oof.
I won't discuss
Do you
here.
feel uncomfortable?
It also felt beneficial to her mental health to do them.
Okay, so we can actually
Like I
read
was
some more of
making
this.
her feel happy and attractive in a way her brain normally wouldn't allow. I wouldn't deprive her of that, would I? I was the supportive, accommodating partner. That's what she loved about me, right? So, as many times as I tried to put my foot down, the next time she was having a very bad day and I had no idea how to make it better, a very common occurrence, I'd offer my services and she would let me without a moment's hesitation. She'd be happy and I'd tell myself that's all I needed to be happy too.
Yeah, this is 100% an abusive, narcissistic relationship.
And this sounds way more realistic than how Lily told it.
Like,
so
it's just full of gaslighting, and it's just somebody with an obsession with control. I don't know who said it, but somebody at the beginning of this video actually did say that Lily Orchard has an obsession with control. And based off of her interactions that we're getting from all these completely separate people, by the way, because a lot of these people aren't even friends with each other. They're just maybe at best acquaintances in a similar capacity, in a similar fan group. But they're all outlining the exact same behavior. So you've established a pattern, like I said. So yeah, I kind of have to side with Lizzie here on this. Even though there's no concrete evidence, a pattern has been established.
Unquote. Lizzie then describes that
yes, full manipulation.
Was drawing on camera for Lily.
Okay, so you read that section, right? I remember one night when this all came to a head, we were having a video call while I drew, so I could see her giddy reactions to the finished product. The only part of the procedure I actually enjoyed. I could see that too, because as an artist myself, that's one of my favorite things to do. I make video games, and I make video games because I fucking love watching people enjoy the stuff that I make. So I could see that being the case. This was also around the time that the drawings were getting more and more explicit. See those walls getting nudged further and further? Drawing while on camera made it especially hard to hide my discomfort. And that was when I asked to draw the most explicit, when I was asked to draw the most explicit one yet, and I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I tried my best. I didn't want to disappoint her or kill the mood, but my hand just refused. And my fake smile finally fell away as I burst into tears. This is horrible. Horrible. I hate every part of this. Her reaction to this is when I told her what had happened, she was mad at me for it, quote, making her feel like an asshole. It was my fault for not telling her, even though I had. Because you're dealing with a fucking awful, narcissistic, gaslighting piece of shit pedophile. That's what you're dealing with. This person has no business having a platform. This person doesn't belong on the internet. They need to go the fuck away. Like, I'm getting pissed. I'm going to be honest. This is making me mad. I hate narcissists. I fucking hate them. I know I said it earlier, but they are, without question, the worst people on the planet. And on top of it, too, a lot of them end up being fucking predators. It's crazy to me. I'm gonna take a drink of this water and take a deep breath. I'm gonna let Brandon read this next section because I'm getting fucking triggered, son.
Oh, can I continue now?
Yes. Sorry, Brandon.
She said we wouldn't do that anymore. We wouldn't do that any more drawings after that. That was a lie. We did stop them eventually. With her, it usually took multiple tries of me trying to enforce my boundaries before they were direct enough to get through to her, by which I mean she'd ignore me asking nicely and then get mad at me when I eventually asked her not so nicely but relented. And for a time, I thought I could put this behind us like all the other issues that arose.
No, because she doesn't care about you either. That's the other thing, is you're only in this relationship with Lily because she's getting things out of you. We're going to move on.
It was too much, and she broke down on camera. In a follow-up tweet...
Also, my mother has just informed me that if my ex does leak these images, she will sue if I want. And I just checked, it's illegal in Canada. My mom goes full mama bear, people. Sue. It is absolutely sue.
Lizzie states if Lily releases them, she will possibly sue as it is illegal in Canada. Lily essentially responded with these two posts. In this post, she believes she was gaslit by Lizzie in the
Reading what was going on with your ex, it honestly sounds like she was gaslighting you so that she could... do you think Sucky Boy is also Lily?
I think all of these have been Lily.
Do you think?
Now that has been implanted.
I'm not gonna say all of them have been, but I really kind of think Sucky Boy might kind of be.
I think a
Lily.
good majority, because they're asking questions that lead into a narrative.
Mm-hmm. Especially with your previous statement about how she romanticized and imagery terminally giving versions of herself. Terminally giving versions? What the fuck? Especially with your previous statements about how she romanticized an imaginary, that's okay, imaginary, terminally giving versions of herself. That part still doesn't make sense to me. She really wanted to feel hard done by. The whole end of that makes no sense to me. Gonna be real. You have a...
Yes, she was definitely being used. That's...
Oh, yes. That is not even a question.
Is.
And unfortunately, that's how it is with every person that she gets into a relationship with. That's how it was with Jack Scorcher. That's how it was with fucking... what was her name? Brittany? That's how it was with Lizzie. That's how it's probably with this other person that she's with that I can't remember the name of because she's been mentioned once.
Michaela?
Michaela, you're correct. God, Brandon, fucking applause for you. But yeah, so this last little section of this paragraph, do you understand what it's saying?
Imaginary, terminally giving versions of herself. That could mean like, I don't know. She really wanted to feel hard done by. I don't know.
I have no fucking clue.
Tear her down. In the second post, she states that Lizzie will not stand stalwart in her boundaries, not just related to things Lizzie mentioned.
Okay, so hold on. Deal with my problems early on. Don't be afraid of having uncomfortable conversations. With my ex, I effectively gave up halfway through. She always had a nasty habit of going back and forth on her decisions. A lot early on, she'd make a decision and set a boundary. only to get rid of it a few weeks later and then go back and forth because you were manipulating her, you fucking garbage. With most of them, it was clear that something was bothering her, but trying to get her to talk about it was like pulling teeth. Like I said in this last post, I'd ask one question to get 17 different answers. What do you expect, man? Like,
as she sometimes did things she hated without convincement in order to try to please Lily. As for Lily, she now believed Lizzie would, quote, be on alt-right streams to shit-talk me soon enough, unquote. Lily then, in another post, stated that people only believe contradictory claims because it is convenient and their narrative.
And you have to remember, most of these have been anonymous.
That's true, too.
Back and forth.
So apparently my ex is not only denying that anything from last night's post happened, but also now accusing me of calling someone the N-word, having a drinking problem, and implying that I would assault her in her sleep over their long distance relationship. It has gone from twisting the truth to full-on lies.
Yeah, they were long. Well, I mean, to be fair, Liz, like, I agree with Lizzie, but like, Lily has never stated that they had a long-term relationship.
But Lizzie, or at least Lily, has been shown and proven to be, as the title of this episode,
psycho.
No, as the title of this episode has called out, a compulsive liar. So I don't believe a fucking thing that comes out of Lily's mouth anymore, or her thingy tips and her keyboard.
Are they still together? If so, that's sad.
It is sad, dude.
Continued well into January 2021. A question was put forth as to why Lily kept the last name Orchard, which is Lizzie's last name, a choice done to show her commitment to their prior engagement. Lily responded by stating it was reverse colonialism. With Lily still not backing down, Lizzie released her second twit longer. With how Lily has a propensity to treat people well, Lizzie released her second twit longer. Reverse colonialism.
This response right here tells you all you need to know about this person. Reverse colonialism, right? She's just like, I'm gonna throw out a word. It's like when people are like, oh, it's a fascist. Oh, it's like, you know, these other fucking ridiculous shit. It's like capitalism, and just stop. Like, you keep applying these terms to shit that it doesn't apply to. Why do people do that? Ugh.
With Lily still not backing down, Lizzie released
I really just don't like this person at all.
People well when they're friends. They regard the relationships as terrible and abusive the moment things turn. Lily did not have much, if any, strong claim against Lizzie. Lizzie did have quite a bit more to say, starting with Lily, quote, had started a quote-unquote game on her blog, where followers would tell her sexual things they would do to her, quote-unquote, in a consequence-free environment. Needless to say, I was shocked and extremely uncomfortable with my fiancé doing this without asking me about it first. Unquote. Lizzie, when this took place 2016, brought her feelings to Lily, but Lily disregarded them because it was a kink. Quote, my ex gave further reasons as to why she liked it, which were similar to why she pressured me into drawing the images for my last story. This quote-unquote game made her feel attractive and desirable in ways her mind didn't typically allow. It made her feel good about herself, unquote. Lizzie then states she allowed Lily to continue the game because she felt guilted.
Okay, so this is that whole thing we just went through.
That she wasn't always forward with her feelings, even when asked by Lily. But then states that she believes Lily knew her true feelings, but just did not care at all. This only allowed things to escalate.
I guess
this went on for 2 months, from New Year's Eve to my birthday.
Hold on.
On my 20th birthday, in the middle of calling my parents, I checked Tumblr and found the facade of the game had turned into my ex, full-blown sexting with people. Roleplay sexting, unquote. Lizzie then threatened to break up with Lily, which is when she became remorseful and apologized to her.
Lily is a living version of the strawman hardcore right-wingers made of left-wingers.
True.
Yeah, kinda. So, I guess I should probably also say that not all of our live streams are full of me being so piss and vinegar. I'm typically a much more laid-back, happy kind of guy. So, you know, I just felt like I needed to say that.
This calm.
This subject is just really particularly getting under my skin in a way that it typically doesn't happen on these reaction videos.
And Lily stopped those asks and deleted that Tumblr. Lizzie then claims that this was so sensitive that Lily told her if it came out that she was flirting with her audience, it could, quote, end her YouTube career, unquote. Later, Lizzie did post evidence of this game. This was largely held through a not safe for work Tumblr that she did delete. As for Lily, she was once again asked for evidence.
You got something? You want to say something, dude?
We got receipts.
Yeah, because it wasn't Lily.
And Lily did bring
it was somebody else that had receipts because there's evidence and proof. Because those things happened.
Evidence. A total of 4 screenshots. The first was after the breakup with Lizzie, stating that Lily...
Can we end after this chapter?
Absolutely. I was actually getting ready to say that, because that little last section... yeah, that'll be a good little stream
and third
tomorrow.
Was of Lizzie admitting to lying about her conflicted feelings, which is something Lizzie already admitted to at this point. And the fourth was Lizzie confiding in a friend about being conflicted with how fast Lizzie was moving on. Lily attempts to spin these innocuous screenshots as Lizzie having a martyr complex and being a child. Overall, this post adds nothing. Lily, not convincing the populace, stated on Twitter that Lizzie was riling up a mob against her, now claiming that she was an abusive ex. It was then that Lily made her tweet longer, explaining how Lizzie was abusive, and during her period of gender dysphoria, their sex life was virtually non-existent, and Lizzie pressured Lily to get their sex life back on track. Quote, on 3 occasions during visits, the guilt trips and pushiness grew too much to bear and I just gave in. It was some of the worst experiences in my life. It wouldn't be until years later that my therapist and friends listened to this.
But see, like I said, it literally pisses everyone off. Well, at least it's not just me, man. At least it's not just me. But again, so going back to what I was saying earlier, normally in a scenario like this where you have 2 people arguing, I would have given them both the benefit of the doubt. But I just don't fucking believe anything this person says. Anything. I don't think anything here is true at all.
Do you know what really kind of solidifies it?
What's that?
You look at like how detailed and descriptive Lizzie's was.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have this one. On 3 occasions, guilt trips and pushiness. Well, how was she pushy?
It's just generalizations. There's no actual detail. It's all generalizations. And then when there is detail, it's so fucking unbelievable. Like, for instance, where the little girl was in the police station with her, came over and put her hand on her shoulder. Do you know that mean lady in there? The one that you made up? Yeah, the shit just doesn't happen. You're full of shit, man. Just go away. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
This back and forth once again died down for a period. Now, Lily calling people fascist or Nazi indiscriminately led to the question...
And, I mean, look how short it is.
Nazi. To her, it is any combination of these things.
What exactly makes someone a Nazi? Any combination of the following. A belief that white people are superior to all other races. Yes. A belief that white is a race at all.
If we're not a race, what are we?
A belief that white people need their own ethnostate. Ethnostate? I don't know what that is.
Supposed to be ethnicity kind of thing?
Maybe. I'm not familiar with that word in particular.
I'm not sure.
Hatred of immigrants. A desire to remove all immigrants from a given country. Isolation beliefs. Aggressively anti-globalism. Homophobia. Transphobia. The belief that being gay or trans is a mental illness. Being against identity politics, aka civil rights, deriding increased presence of women, minorities, and LGBT characters in fiction as political agenda. You're the one with the political agenda. No, I just don't want it shoved down my fucking throat every time I watch a television show, dude.
I don't care if the main character is male or female.
Gay, straight, trans, I don't fucking care about any of that as long as the story is good.
I was talking about how much I liked She-Ra. We're just full of that.
I loved the beginning seasons of Steven Universe, which was...
We're just full of that.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. It was good writing.
In a follow-up post...
How to know you're talking to a Nazi. I hate Nazis. Them define Nazi. Well, it could be because you just use it for everything.
Yeah.
Lily then agrees that asking people to define Nazi in turn makes them a Nazi. Lily was being more erratic. On Tumblr, a user asked to see her breasts. Lily then complied and posted a link to them. And then in February, she decided to attack Jaw Scorcher again, stating that posting what is...
She's going back to Jack, Brandon. Jack really pissed her off, because Jack slighted her.
...possibly Stockholm means that he was spreading a CP. Continuing her hypocritical, erratic nature, she was asking for bronies to die for sexualizing ponies. Even...
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? You wrote a story of Rainbow Dash.
Did we hallucinate? Did the entire world collectively hallucinate?
I'm guessing, but we're gonna gloss over.
Have you ever heard, you know what the Mandela effect is, right?
I do, actually.
Maybe instead of like the Mandela effect, what actually happened is we just went into a separate universe with Lily and like absorbed everyone in this universe where Lily posted this, but our Lily didn't actually post this.
Vosh. Vosh likes horse porn. He's also got some creepy shit. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Vosh, he is, I think he's more left-leaning, actually, a political YouTuber. I think he's a left-leaning political YouTuber. I don't watch him, so I don't know for sure. But I know he deals with politics. He was doing a live stream one day, and he was trying to show something on his computer, and one of his folders popped open, and it was full of all of his porn. And it had a bunch of images that he hadn't sorted into his little folders yet, because he has his porn stash is nice and organized. There's like horse cocks and tons of lolicon shit. Yeah, it was a bunch of creepy stuff.
Though she's extremely guilty of such a thing. She then tweeted that bronies...
And do you know how he reacted when he realized that it was showing on live stream? He goes, "Oh!" and hits a button just like that.
She was asking for bronies to die for sexualizing ponies. Even though she's extremely guilty of such a thing. She then tweeted that bronies will never breed. Lily then made a claim that Lizzie sexually assaulted her in the worst way possible. Lizzie responded, quote, "Who cares? Honestly. Everyone outside her little corner of the internet knows this is all lies. Just the anger of an ex on a relentless smear campaign."
Yep.
Unquote. As for Lily, her mental state was not getting any better.
Okay. Fuck. That's a perfect place to stop, actually. Streams. Oh, Alcorative, Brandon.
Yeah, back to Alcorative.
I'm telling you, that's another one. That's another one right there, Brandon. All right, guys. It is about 1 o'clock in the fucking morning.
We're talking about 2 o'clock.
No, it's not. Is it?
It's 1:48. Why I was asking to end.
My computer's clock is behind an hour. How the fuck did that happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking at the time and I was like, man.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, guys, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Go to bed! Damn it! Guys, thank you so much.
Full-time job, got here, streamed for what, like 5 hours?
Thanks, guys. I do appreciate you stopping through, hanging out with us. It was a great time. Kinda. I got really, really mad on this one. I'm sorry for that. I don't typically do that, and I'm going to try to do better in the next episode, because we do have to finish this. As you can see, little progress bar right there. We getting close, guys. We're getting close. We're almost through it. So, like I said earlier in the stream, we're not going to have any streams for Friday, Saturday, likely not Sunday. It's possible Sunday. But Tuesday, I'll be back with some streams then, unless I get called into work, because jobs. But if you've enjoyed this content and you would like to see us continue doing stuff like this, please let us know by leaving some likes on the video, maybe comment down below some things you'd like to see us improve on, maybe some different ways you'd like to see us interact with the medium that we're reacting to. The video that we watched tonight is also in the description. Joon makes excellent video essays. Go check his channel out. Check the video out. Leave him a like, please, because he deserves the attention. He deserves the likes. He puts lots of work into his content. But that is going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for joining us. We will catch you tomorrow night for the conclusion of the Joon the King video essay on Lily Orchard. Till then, take care. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.